Tush! Tush! Never tell me! I take it much unkindly that thou, Iago, hast had my purse, as if the strings were thine, shouldst know of this.
Sblood, but you'll not hear me. If ever I did dream of such a matter, abhor me.
Thou toldst me that thou didst hold him in thy hate.
Despise me if I do not. 3 great ones of the city, in personal suit, to make me his lieutenant, off-capped to him. By the faith of man, I know my price. I am worth no worse a place. But he, as loving his own pride and purposes, evades them with a bombast circumstance horribly stuffed with epithets of war, and in conclusion, non-suits my mediators. For certes, says he, I've already chose my officer. What was he? Sooth, a great arithmetician. One Michael Cassio, a Florentine. A fellow almost damned in a fair wife. Never set a squadron in the field. Nor the division of a battle knows more than a spinster, unless the bookish Theoric wherein the togaed consuls can propose as masterly as he. Mere prattle without practice is all his soldiership. But he, sir, had the election, and I, of whom his eyes had seen the proof, at Rhodes, at Cyprus, and on other grounds, both Christian and heathen, must be believed and calmed by debitor and creditor. This countercaster, he, in good time, must his lieutenant be, and I, God bless the mark, his more ships. Ensign?
Heaven, I would have rather been his hangman.
There's no remedy.
'Tis the curse of service. Preferment goes by letter in affection, and not by old gradation, where each second stood heir to the first. Now, sir, be judge yourself, whether I, in any just term, am affined to love the more.
I would not follow him then.
O sir, content you. I follow him to serve my turn upon him. We cannot all be masters, nor all masters cannot be truly followed. You shall mark many a duteous and mean crooking knave, that doting on his own obsequious bondage, wears out his time much like his master's ass, for naught but provender, and when he's old, cashiered. Witness such honest knaves, others there are who, trimmed in forms and visages of duty, keep yet their hearts attending on themselves, and throwing but shows of service on their lords, do well thrive by them, and when they have lined their coats, do themselves homage. These fellows have some soul, and such a one do I profess myself. For, sir, it is as sure as you are Roderico. Were I the Moor, I would not be Iago. In following him, I follow but myself. Heaven is my judge, not I for love and duty, but seeming so for my peculiar end. For when my outward action does demonstrate the native act and figure of my heart, in compliment extern, 'tis not long after. But I will wear my heart upon my sleeve for those to peck at. I am not what I am.
What a full fortune does the thick lips owe if he can carry it thus.
Call up her father, rouse him, make after him, poison his delight, proclaim him in the streets, incense her kinsman, and though he be in a fertile climate dwell, plague him with flies.
Though that his joy be joy, yet throw such changes of vexation on it, as it may lose some colour. Here's her father's house. I'll call aloud. Do, with like timorous accent and dire yell, as when by night and negligence the fire is spied in populous cities. What? Ho! Brabantio! Signor Brabantio! Ho! Awake! What ho! Brabantio! Thieves! 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 Look to your house, your daughter, and your bags! Thieves! Thieves! What is the reason of this terrible summons? What is the matter there? Signor, is all your family within? Are your doors locked? Why, wherefore you ask this? Zounds, sir, you are robbed. For shame! Put on your gown. Your heart is burst. You have lost half your soul. Even now, very now, an old black ram is topping your white ewe. Arise, arise, awake the snorting citizens with the bell, or else the devil will make a grandsire of you. Arise, I say. What? Have you lost your wits? Most reverend signor, do you know my voice? Not I. What are you? My name is Rodrigo. The worse are welcome. I have charged thee not to haunt about my doors. In honest plainness thou hast heard me say, my daughter is not for thee. And now in madness, being full of supper and distempering draughts, upon malicious bravery dost thou come to start my quiet. Sir! 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 But thou must needs be sure my spirit and my place have in them power to make this bitter to thee. Patience, good sir! What tell'st thou me of robbing? This is Venice! My house is not a grange!
Most grave Brabantino, in simple and pure soul I come to you. Zounds! Sir, you are one of those who will not serve God if the devil bids you. Because we come to do you service, and you think we are ruffians, you will have your daughter covered in a Barbary horse. Your nephews will neigh to you. You'll have coursers for cousins, and jennets for Germans. What profane wretch art thou? I am one, sir, that comes to tell you your daughter and the Moor are making the beast with two backs. Thou art a villain. You are a senator. This thou shalt answer. I know you, Rodrigo. Sir, I will answer anything, but I beseech you, if it be your pleasure and most wise consent, as partly I find it is, your fair daughter, on this odd, even dull watch of night, transported with no worse nor better guard, but with a knave of common hire, a gondolier, to the gross clasps of a lascivious Moor.
Mas, se desconheceis o que se passa, ensine-me o costume que não tendes razão de censurar-nos desse modo. Não creiais que tão falho me revele de cortesia para vir agora zombar de vossa grande reverência. Vossa filha, de novo vos declaro, se não lhe deste permissão, muito grave pecado cometeu, unindo o espírito, a beleza, o dever, seus haveres a um estrangeiro andejo e desgarrado daqui de toda parte. Convencei-vos neste momento, se no quarto dela fordes achá-la, ou mesmo em toda a casa, entregai-me à justiça da República por vos ter enganado desse modo.
Strike on the tinder, ho! Give me a taper, call up my people. This accident is not unlike my dream. Belief of it oppresses me already. Light, I say, light!
Adiós. pues debo dejarlos. No me parece conveniente ni conforme con el puesto que ocupo ser llamado en justicia, como sucederá si me quedo, a deponer contra el moro.
For I do know the state, however this may gall him with some check, cannot with safety cast him, for he is embarked with such loud reason to the Cyprus wars, which even now stand in act that for their souls, another of his fathom they have none to lead their business. In which regard, though I do hate him as I do hell pains, yet, for necessity of present life, I must show out a flag and sign of love, which is indeed but sign, that you shall surely find him lead to the Sagittary the raised search, and there will I be with him. So, farewell.
It is too true and evil. Gone she is, and what's to come of my despised time is naught but bitterness. Now, Rodrigo, where didst thou see her? Oh, unhappy girl, with the Moor sayest thou? Oh, who would be a father? How didst thou know 'twas she? Oh, she deceives me, past thought. What says she to you? Get more tapers, raise all my kindred. Are they married, think you? Oh, heaven, how got she out? Oh, treason of the blood! Fathers, from hence trust not your daughters' minds by what you see them act. Is there not some charms by which the property of maidhood may be subdued? Have you not read, Rodrigo, of some such thing? Call up my brother. Oh, would you had had her some one way, some another. Do you know where we may apprehend her and the more? Pray you, lead on, at every house I'll call. I may command at most. Get weapons, ho, and raise some special officers of the night. On, good Rodrigo, I'll deserve your pains.
Though in the trade of war I have slain men, yet do I hold the very stuff of the conscience to do no contrived murder. I lack an equity sometimes to do me service. Okay, 9 or 10 times I had thought to have yerked him right under the ribs.
'Tis better as it is.
Oh, nay, but he prated and spoke such scurvy and provoking terms against your honour, that, with the little godliness I have, I did full heart forbear him. But I pray you, sir, are you fast married? Be assured of this, that the Magnifico is much beloved, and hath in his effect a voice, potential as double as the Duke's. He will divorce you, or put you upon what you restraint and grievance the law with all his might, to enforce it on. We'll give him cable.
Let him do his spite. My services which I have done the signori shall outtongue his complaints. 'Tis yet to know, which when I know that boasting is an honor, I shall promulgate. I fetch my life and being from men of royal siege, and my demerits may speak unbonneted to as proud a fortune as this that I have reached. For know, Iago, but that I love the gentle Desdemona, that I would not my unhoused free condition put into circumscription and confined for the sea's worth. But look, what lights come yond.
Those are the raised father and his friends. You were best go in.
No, not I. I must be found. My parts, my title, my perfect soul shall manifest me rightly. Oh, is it they?
By Janus, I think no.
You, Rodrigo, come, sir, I am for you. Keep up your bright swords, for the dew will rust them. Good signor, you shall more command with ears than with your weapons. O thou foul thief, where hast thou stowed my daughter? Damn as thou art, thou hast enchanted her. For I'll refer me to all things of sense, if she in chains of magic were not bound, whether a maid so tender, fair, and happy, so opposite to marriage that she shunned the wealthy curled darlings of our nation, would ever have to incur a general mock, run from her gardish to the sooty bosom of such a thing as thou, to fear, not to delight. Judge me the world if it's not gross in sense that thou hast practiced on her with foul charms, abused her delicate youth with drugs or minerals that weaken motion. I'll haven't disputed on, it's probable and palpable to thinking. I therefore apprehend and attach thee for an abuser of the world, a practicer of arts, inhibited and out of warrant. Lay hold on him. If he do resist, subdue him at his peril. Hold your hands, both, you of my inclining and the rest. Were it my cue to fighting, I should have known it without a prompter. Where will you that I go to answer this your charge? To prison till fit time of law and course of direct session call thee to answer. What if I do obey? How may the Duke be therewith satisfied, whose messengers are about my side upon some present business of the state to bring me to him? It's true, most worthy signor, the Duke's in council, and your noble self, I'm sure, is sent for. How, the Duke in council in this time of the night? Bring him away. Mine's not an idle cause. The Duke himself or any of my brothers of the state cannot but feel this wrong as it were their own. For if such actions may have passage free, bond slaves and pagans shall our statesmen be.
There is no composition in these news that gives them credit. Indeed, they are disproportionate. My letters say 107 galleys. And mine 140.
And mine 200. But though they jump not on a just account, as in these cases where the aim reports, 'tis oft the difference, yet do they all confirm a Turkish fleet, and bearing up to Cyprus.
Nay, it is possible enough to judgment. I do not secure with me in error, but the main article I do approve in fearful sense.
What ho! What ho! What ho!
Oi, a messenger from the galleys.
Now, what's the business?
The Turkish preparation makes for roads, so has been report here to the state by Signor Angelo.
What say you to this change?
This cannot be. By no assay of reason, 'tis a patent to keep us in false gaze.
When we consider the importance of Cyprus to the Turk, and let ourselves again understand that as it more concerns the Turk than Rhodes, so may he with more facile question bear it. For it stands not in such warlike brace, but altogether lacks the abilities that Rhodes is dressed in. If we make thought of this, we must not think the Turk is so unskillful to leave that latest which concerns him first, neglecting an attempt of ease and gain, to wake and wage a danger profitless. Nay, in all confidence, he is not for Rhodes. Here is more news. The Ottomans, reverend and gracious, steering with due course towards the Isle of Rhodes, have there enjoined them with an afterfleet. Aye, so I thought. How many, as you guess? Of 30 sail, and now do the rest step their backward course, bearing with frank appearance their purposes towards Cyprus.
Signor Montano, your trusty and most valiant servitor, with his free duty, recommends you thus, and prays you to believe him. 'Tis certain, then. For Cyprus, Marcus Lucius. Is not he in town? He is now in Florence. Write from us to him. Post haste. Dispatch. Here comes Brabantio, and the valiant Moor. Valiant Othello, we must straight employ you against the general enemy Ottoman. I did not see you. Welcome, gentle signor. We lacked your counsel and your help tonight. So did I yours, your grace. Pardon me, neither my place nor aught I heard of business hath raised me from my bed, nor doth the general care. Take hold on me. For my particular grief is of so floodgate and overbearing nature that it engluts me, and swallows other sorrows, and it is still itself. Why, what's the matter? My daughter. Oh, my daughter. Dead? Aye, to me. She's breathed, stolen from me and corrupted. By spells and medicines bought of mountebanks, for nature, so preposterously to err, being not deficient, blind, or lame of sense, sent witchcraft could not. Whoever he be that in his foul proceeding hath thus beguiled your daughter of herself, and you of her, the bloody book of law you shall yourself read in the bitter letter. After your own sense, ye, thou, our proper son, stood in your action. Humbly I thank your grace. Here is a man, this Moor, whom, now it seems, your special mandate for the state affairs hath hither brought. We are very sorry for it. What in your part can you say to this? But this is so. Most potent, grave and reverend signors, my very noble and approved good masters, that I have taken away this old man's daughter. It is most true.
True, I have married her. The very head and front of my offending hath to this extent. Rude am I in my speech, and little blessed with the soft phrase of peace. For since these arms of mine had 7 years' pith, till now some 9 moons wasted, they have used their dearest action in the tented field, and little of this great world can I speak more than pertains to feats of broil and battle, and therefore little shall I grace my cause in speaking for myself. Yet, by your gracious patience, I will a round unvarnished tale deliver of my whole course of love, what drugs, what charms, what conjuration, and what mighty magic for some proceeding I am charged withal. One his daughter, a maiden never bold, of spirit so still and quiet that her motion blushed at herself, and she, in spite of nature of years of counting credit everything, to fall in love with what she feared to look on. It is a judgment maimed and most imperfect that will confess perfection so could err against all rules of nature, and must be driven to find out practices of cunning hell why this should be. I therefore vouch again that with some mixtures powerful over the blood, or with some dram conjured this effect, he wrought upon her. To vouch this is no proof, without more wider and more over tests than these, than habits of poor likelihoods of modern seeming do prefer against him. But, Othello, speak. Did you by indirect and forced courses subdue and poison this young maid's affections, or came it by request in such fair question as soul to soul affordeth? I do beseech you, send for the lady to the Sagittary, and let her speak to me before her father. If you do find me foul in her report, the office I do hold of you, not only take away, but let your sentence even fall upon my life.
Ancient, conduct them. You best know the place. Until she come, as truly as to heaven, I do confess the vices of my blood. So, justly, to your grave ears, I'll present. How did I thrive in this fair lady's love and she in mine? Her father loved me, oft invited me, still questioned me the story of my life. From year to year, the battles, sieges, fortunes that I have passed.
Such was the process, and of the cannibals that each other eat, the papagaii and men whose heads do grow beneath their shoulders. History hears the gentleman seriously inclined. Still the house of birds would draw her thence. Whichever as she could with hasty fat, she'd come again, and the greedy ear devour up my discourse, which I observed and took them for pliant hour, and found good news to draw from her a fair and earnest heart, that I would all my pilgrimage style it. For of that parcel she had something heard, but not attentively. I did consent, and did beguile her of her tears, that is, speak of some distressful stroke that my youth had suffered. My story being done, she gave me for my pains a world of sighs. She swore a faith so strange, so passing strange, so pitiful, so wondrous pitiful.
She wished she had not heard it, yet she wished that heaven had made her such a man. She thanked me and bade me, if I had a friend that loved her, I should but teach him how to tell my story, and that would woo her. Upon this hint I spake. She loved me for the dangers I had passed, and I loved her that she did pity them. This only is the witchcraft I have used. Here comes the lady. Let her witness it. I think this tale would win my daughter too. Good Brabantio, take up this mangled matter at the best. Men do their broken weapons rather use than their bare hands. And pray you hear her speak. If she confessed that she was half the wooer, destruction on my head if my bad blame light on the man. Come hither, gentle mistress. Do you perceive in all this noble company where most you owe your obedience?
My noble father, I do perceive here a divide of duty. To you, I am bound for life and education. My life and education both do learn me how to respect you. You are the lord of duty. I am hitherto your daughter, but here's my husband. And so much duty my mother showed to you, preferring you above her father. So much I challenge that I may profess due to the more, my lord. God be with you. I have done. Please it, your grace, on to the state affairs. I had rather adopt a child than get it. Come hither, Moor. I here do give thee that with all my heart, which, but thou hast already, with all my heart I would keep from thee. For your sake, Jewel, I am glad at my soul that I have no other child, for thy escape would teach me tyranny to hang clogs upon them. I have done, my lord. Let me speak like yourself, and lay a sentence, which, as a grise or step, may help these lovers into your favour.
When remedies are past, the griefs are ended by seeing the worst which late on hopes depended. To mourn a mischief that is past and gone is the next way to draw new mischief on. What cannot be preserved when fortune takes patience her injury a mockery makes? The robbed that smiles steals something from the thief. He robs himself that spends a bootless grief.
So let the Turk of Cyprus us beguile, we lose it not as long as we can smile. He bears the sentence well that nothing bears but the free comfort from which thence he hears. But he bears both the sentence and the sorrow, that to pay grief must of poor patience borrow. These sentences to sugar or to gall, being strong on both sides, are equivocal. But words are words. I never yet did hear that the bruised heart was pierced through the ear. I humbly beseech you, proceed to the affairs of state.
The Turk, with a most mighty preparation, makes for Cyprus. Othello, the fortitude of the place is best known to you. And though we have there a substitute of most allowed sufficiency, yet opinion, a sovereign mistress of effects, throws a more safer voice on you. You must therefore be content to slubber the gloss of your new fortunes with this more stubborn and boisterous expedition. The tyrant custom most grave senators hath made the flinty and steel couch of war my thrice-driven bed of down. I do agonize a natural and prompt alacrity I find in hardness, and yet do undertake these present wars against the Ottomites. Most humbly, therefore, bending to your state, I crave fit disposition for my wife, due reference of place and exhibition, with such accommodation and besort as levels with her breeding. If you please, be it at her father's.
I'll not have it so.
Nor I. Nor I. I would not there reside, to put my father in impatient thoughts by being in his eye. Most gracious Duke, to my unfolding lend your prosperous ears, and let me find a charter in your voice to assist my simpleness.
What would you, Desdemona?
That I did love the more to live with him. My downright violence and storm of fortunes may trumpet to the world. My heart subdued, even to the very quality of my lord's. I saw Othello's visage in his mind, and to his honor and his valiant parts did I my soul and my fortunes consecrate. So that, dear lords, if I be left behind, a moth of peace, and he go to the war, the rights for which I love him bereft me, and I a heavy interim shall support by his dear absence. Let me go with him. Let her have your voices. Vouch with me, heaven, therefore I beg it not, to please the palate of my appetite, nor to comply with heat, the young affects in me defunct and proper satisfaction, but to be free and bounteous to her mind. And heaven defend your good souls that you think I will your serious and great business scant, for she is with me. No, when light-winged toys of feathered Cupid seal with wanton dullness my speculative and office instruments, that my disports corrupt and taint my business, that housewives make a skillet of my helm, and all indine and base adversities make head against my estimation. Be it as you shall privately determine, either for her stay or going, the affair cries haste, and speed must answer it.
You must away tonight.
With all my heart.
At 9 in the morning here we'll meet again. Othello, leave some officer behind, and he shall our commission bring to you with such things else of quality and respect as doth import to you. So please, your grace, my ancient, a man he is of honour and trust, to his conveyance I assign my wife, with what else needful your good grace shall think to be sent after me. Let it be so. Good night to everyone. And noble signor, if virtue no delighted beauty lack, your son-in-law is far more fair than black. Adieu, brave Moor. Use Desdemona well. Look to her more, if thou hast eyes to see. She has deceived her father, and may thee. my life upon her faith. Honest Iago, my Desdemona must I leave to thee. I prithee, let thy wife attend on her, and bring them after in the best advantage. Come, Desdemona, I have but an hour of love, of worldly matters and direction to spend with thee. We must obey the time. Iago, what sayest thou, noble heart? What will I do, thinkest thou? Why, go to bed and sleep. I will incontinently drown myself. If thou dost, I shall never love thee after. Why, thou silly gentleman, it is silliness to live when to live is torment. And then have we a prescription to die when death is our physician. Oh, villainous! I have looked upon the world for 4 times 7 years, and since I could distinguish betwixt a benefit and an injury, I never found man that knew how to love himself. I would say, I would drown myself for the love of a guinea hen. I would change my humanity with a baboon. What should I do? I confess it is my shame to be so fond, but it is not in my virtue to amend it.
Virtue! A fig! 'Tis in ourselves that we are thus or thus. Our bodies are our gardens, to the which our wills are gardeners, so that if we will plant nettles, or sow lettuce, set hyssop, and weed up thyme, supply it with one gender of herbs, or distract it with many, either to have it sterile with idleness, or manured with industry, why, the power and corrigible authority of this lies in our wills. If the balance of our lives had not one scale of reason to poise another of sensuality, the blood and baseness of our natures would conduct us to most preposterous conclusions. But we have reason to cool our raging motions, our carnal stings, our unbidden lusts, whereof I take this that you call love to be a sect or a scion. It cannot be. It is merely a lust of the blood and a permission of the will. Come, be a man. Drown thyself. Drown cats and blind puppies. I have professed me thy friend, and I confess me knit to thy deserving with cables of perdurable toughness. I could never better stead thee than now. Put money in thy purse. Follow thou the wars. Defeat thy favor with an usurped beard. I say, put money in thy purse. It cannot be that Desdemona should long continue her love to the Moor. Put money in thy purse. Nor he his to her. It was a violent commencement, and thou shalt see an answerable sequestration. Put but money in thy purse. These Moors are changeable in their wills. Fill thy purse with money. The food that to him is now as luscious as locusts shall be to him shortly as bitter as coloncantida. She must change for youth. When she is sated with his body, she will find the error of her choice. She must have changed. She must. Therefore, put money in thy purse. If thou wilt needs damn thyself, do it a more delicate way than drowning. Make all the money thou canst. If sanctimony and a frail vow betwixt an erring barbarian and a super subtle Venetian, not too hard for my wits and all the tribe of hell, thou shalt enjoy her. Therefore, make money.
A box of drowning thyself, it is clean out of the way. Seek thou rather to be hanged encompassing thy joy. than to be drowned and go without her. Wilt thou be fast to my hopes if I depend on the issue? Thou art sure of me. Go make money. I have told thee often, and I tell thee again and again. I hate the Moor. My cause is hearted, thine hath no less reason. Let's be conjunctive in our revenge against him. If thou canst cuckold him, thou dost thyself a pleasure. Me, a sport. There are many events in the womb of time which will be delivered. Traverse, go, provide thy money. We will have more of this tomorrow. Adieu. Where shall we meet in the morning? At my lodging. I'll be with thee betimes. Go to, farewell. Do you hear, Rodrigo? What say you? No more of drowning, do you hear? I am changed. I'll go sell all my land. Thus do I ever make my fool my purse. For I mine own gain knowledge should profane. If I would time expend with such a snipe, but for my sport and profit. I hate the Moor! And it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he's done my office. I know not if it be true, but I for mere suspicion in that kind will do as if for surety. He holds me well, the better shall my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man. Let me see now. To get his place and plume up my will in double knavery? How? How? After some time, to abuse Othello's ear that he's too familiar with his wife. He hath the person and a smooth disposed to be suspected, framed to make women false. The Moor is of a free and open nature that thinks men honest, but that seem to be so. And will as tenderly be led by the nose as Caesar. I have it. It is engendered. Helen Knight must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
What from the Cape can you discern at sea? Nothing at all. It's a high-wrought flood. I can't twixt the heaven, and the men descry a sail. Methink the winds had spoke aloud at land. A fuller blast ne'er shook our battlements. If it had roughened so upon the sea, what ribs of oak, when mountains melt on them, can hold the mortise? What shall we bear of this? A segregation of the Turkish fleet, for do but stand upon the foaming shore. The chidden billow seems to pelt the clouds, the wind shake the surge with high and monstrous mien, seems to cast the water on the burning bear, and quench the gods of the ever-fixed pole. I never did like molestation view on the enchafed flood. If that the Turkish fleet be not ensheltered or embayed, they are drowned. It's impossible they bear it out. News, lads! Our war has done. The desperate tempest hath so bound the Turks that their designment holds a noble ship of Venice, has seen a grievous wreck and suffers a most part of their fleet. How? Is this true? The ship is here put in. A Veronese, Michael Cassio, lieutenant to the warlike moor Othello, is come on shore. The moor himself at sea, and is in full commission here for Cyprus. I'm glad on it. 'Tis a worthy governor. But this came Cassio. Though he speaks of comfort touching the Turkish laws, yet he looks sadly, and prays for the moor be safe, for they were parted with foul and violent tempest. Pray heavens he be, for I have served him, and the man commands like a full soldier. Let's to the seaside. Oh, as well to see the vessel that's come in, as to throw out our eyes for brave Othello. Even he will make the main and the aerial blue an indistinct regard. Come, let's do so, for every minute is expectancy, and of more arrivals. Thanks. You are valiant of this warlike isle, that so approves the moor. Oh, let the heavens give him defense against the elements, for I have lost us him on a dangerous sea. Is he well shipped?
His bark is stoutly timbered, his pilot a very expert and approved allowance. Therefore my hopes, not surfeited to death, stand in full cure. What noise? My hopes do shape him for the governor.
They do discharge their shot of courtesy, our friends at least.
I pray you, sir, go forth, and give us truth who 'tis that is arrived.
I shall.
Most fortunately, he hath achieved a maid that paragons description and wild fame, one that excels the quirks of blazoning pens, and in the essential vesture of creation does tire the engineer. How now? Who has put in?
'Tis one Iago, ancient to the general.
Has had most favorable and happy speed. Tempests themselves, high seas and howling winds, the guttered rocks and congregated sands, traitors in steep to clog the guiltless keel, as having sense of beauty, do omit their mortal natures, letting go safely by the divine Desdemona. She that I spake of, our great captain's captain, left in the conduct of the bold Iago, whose footing here anticipates our thoughts. A Senite's speed. Great Jove, Othello guard, and swell his sail with thine own powerful breath, that he may bless this bay with his tall ship, make love's quick pants in Desdemona's arms, give renewed fire to our extincted spirits, and bring all Cyprus comfort. Oh, behold, the riches of the ship is come on shore. Ye men of Cyprus, let her have your knees. Hail to thee, lady, and the grace of heaven before, behind thee, and on every hand, and wheel thee round. He is not yet arrived, nor know I aught, but that he's well and will be shortly here.
The great contention of the sea and sky is parted our fellowship. But hark! A sail!
A sail! A sail!
They give their greeting to the citadel. This likewise is a friend. See for the news. Good ancient, you're welcome. Welcome, mistress. Let it not gall your patience, good Iago, that I extend my manners. It's my breeding that gives me this bold show of courtesy. Sir, would she give you so much of her lips as of her tongue she oft bestows on me? You'll have enough.
Alas, she has no speech.
In faith, too much. I find it still, when I have a list to sleep. Marry, before your ladyship, I grant. She puts her tongue a little in her heart, and shies with thinking.
You have little cause to say so.
Come on. Your pictures out of doors. Bells in your parlors, wild cats in your kitchens. Saints in your injuries, devils being offended. Players in your housewifery and housewives in your beds. Oh, fie upon thee, slanderer! Nay, it is true, or else I'm a Turk. You rise to play and go to bed to work. You shall not write my praise. No, let me not. What wouldst thou write of me if thou shouldst praise me? Oh, gentle lady, do not put me to it, for I am nothing if not critical. Come on, essay. There's one gone to the harbour? Aye, madam. I'm not merry, but I do beguile the thing I am by seeming otherwise. Come, how wouldst thou praise me? I am about it, but indeed my invention comes from my pate as bird lime does from frizz. It plucks out brains and all. But my muse labours, and thus she's delivered. If she be fair and wise, fairness and wit, the one's for use, the other useth it. Well praised. How if she be black and witty?
If she be black, and thereto have a wit, she'll find a white that shall her blackness fit.
Rest and rest.
How if fair and foolish? She never yet was foolish that was fair, for even her folly helped her to an heir.
These are old fond paradoxes to make fools laugh in the alehouse. What miserable praise hast thou for her that's foul and foolish?
There's none so foul and foolish thereunto, but does foul pranks which fair and wise ones do.
Heavy ignorance! Thou praisest the worst the best. But what praise couldst thou bestow on a deserving woman indeed, one that, in the authority of her merit, did justly put on the vouch of very malice itself?
She that was ever fair and never proud, had tongue at will and yet was never loud, never lacked gold and yet went never gay, fled from her wish and yet said, now I may. She that being angered, her revenge being nigh, bade her wrong stay and her displeasure fly. She that in wisdom never was so frail to change the cod's head for the salmon's tail. She that could think and ne'er disclose her mind, see suitors following and not look behind. She was a wight, if ever such wight were.
To do what?
To suckle fools, and chronicle small beer.
Oh, most lame and impotent conclusion! Oh, do not learn of him, Amelia, though he be thy husband. How say you, Cassio? Is he not a most profane and liberal counsellor?
He speaks from home, madam. You may relish him more in the soldier than in the scholar.
He takes her by the palm. Aye, well said, whisper. With as little a web as this will I ensnare as great a fly as Cassio. Aye, smile upon her. Do. I will give thee in thine own courtship.
You say true. 'Tis so indeed. If such tricks as these strip you out of your lieutenantry, it had been better you had not kissed your 3 fingers so oft, which now again you are most apt to play the sir in. Very good. Well kissed. An excellent courtesy. 'Tis so, indeed. Yet again your fingers to your lips. Would they were clyster pipes for your sake. Do-do, do-do. The more I know his trumpet. 'Tis truly so. Let's meet him and receive him. Lo, where he comes. Oh, my fair warrior, my dear Othello, it gives me wonder great as my content to see you here before me. Oh, my soul's joy, if after every tempest come such calms, may the winds blow till they have wakened death. And let the labouring bark climb hills of seas Olympus high, and duck again as low as hells from heaven. If it were now to die, 'twere now to be the most happy, for I fear my soul hath her content so absolute, that not another comfort like to this succeeds an unknown fate. The heavens forbid, but that our loves and comforts should increase, even as our days do grow. Amen to that, sweet powers. I cannot speak enough of this content. It stops me here. It is too much of joy, and this, the greatest discords will be. That ere our hearts should make. Oh, you are well tuned now. But I'll set down the pegs that make this music, as honest as I am. Come, let us to the castle. News, friends, our wars are done, the Turks are drowned. Woo! How does my old acquaintance of this isle? Honey, you shall be well desired in Cyprus. I have found great love amongst them. Oh, my sweet, I prattle out of fashion, and I dote in mine own comforts.
I prithee, good Iago, go to the bay and disembark my coffers. Bring thou the master to the citadel. He is a good one. His worthiness does challenge much respect. Come, Desdemona, once more, well met at Cyprus. Do thou meet me presently at the harbour. Come hither. If thou beest valiant, as they say, base men, being in love, have then a nobility in their natures more than is native to them, list me. The lieutenant tonight watches on the court of guard. First, let me tell thee this. Desdemona is directly in love with him. With him? Why, 'tis not possible. Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me with what violence she first loved the Moor, but for bragging and telling her fantastical lies. And will she love him still for prating? Let not thy discreet heart think it. Her eye must be fed. And what delight shall she have to look on the devil? When the blood is made dull with the act of sport, there should be, again to inflame it, and then to give satiety of fresh appetite, loveliness and favour, sympathy and years, manners and beauties, all which the Moor is defective in. Now, for want of these required conveniences, her delicate tenderness will find itself abused, begin to heave the gorge, and disrelish and abhor the Moor. Very nature will instruct her in it, and compel her to some second choice. Now, sir, this granted, as it is a most pregnant and unforced position, who stands so eminent in the degree of this fortune as Cassio does? A knave very voluble, no further conscionable than putting on the mere form of civil and humane seeming, for the better compassing of his salt and most hidden loose affection.
Why none? Why none a slipper and subtle knave, a finder of occasions, that has an eye can stamp and counterfeit advantages, though true advantage never present itself, a devilish knave. Besides, the knave is handsome, young, and hath all those requisites in him that folly and green minds look after. A pestilent, complete knave. And the woman hath found him already.
I cannot believe that in her. She is full of most blessed condition.
Blessed fig's end. The wine she drinks is made of grapes. If she had been blessed, she would never have loved the Moor. Blessed pudding, didst thou not see her paddle with the palm of his hand? Didst not mark that?
Yes, that I did, but that was but courtesy.
Lechery by this hand. an index and obscure prologue to the history of lust and foul thoughts. They met so near with their lips that their breaths embraced together. Villainous thoughts, Rodrigo! When these mutualities so marshal the way, hard at hand comes the master and main exercise, the incorporate conclusion. Psh! But sir, be you ruled by me, I have brought you from Venice. Watch you tonight for the command I'll lay it upon you. Cassio knows you not, I'll not be far from you. Do you find some occasion to anger Cassio either by speaking too loud or tainting his discipline, or from what other course you please, which the time shall more favorably minister?
Well,
sir, he is rash, and very sudden in choler, and haply may strike at you, provoke him that he may. For even out of that I will cause these of Cyprus to mutiny, whose qualification shall come into no true taste again, but by the displanting of Cassio. So shall you have a shorter journey to your desires by the means I shall then have to prefer them, and the impediment most profitably removed, without that which there were no expectations of our prosperity.
I will do this if I can bring it to any opportunity.
I warrant thee. Meet me by and by at the citadel. I must fetch his necessaries ashore. Farewell.
Adieu.
That Cassio loves her, I do well believe it. That she loves him, 'tis apt, and of great credit. The more, howbeit I endure him not, is of a constant, loving, noble nature. And I dare think he'll prove to Desdemona a most dear husband. Now I do love her too, not out of absolute lust, though peradventure I stand accounted for as great a sin, but partly led to die at my revenge, for that I do suspect the lusty Moor hath leaped into my seat, the thought whereof doth like a poisonous mineral gnaw at my inwards, and nothing can or shall content my soul till I am evened with him, wife for wife. Or failing so, yet that I put the Moor at least into a jealousy so strong that judgment cannot cure. Which thing to do, if this poor trash of Venice, whom I trace for his quick hunting, stand the putting on, I'll have our Michael Cassio on the hip. Abuse him to the Moor in the right garb, for I fear Cassio with my nightcap too. Make the Moor thank me, love me, and reward me for making him egregiously an ass, and practising upon his peace and quiet, even to madness. 'Tis here, but yet confused. Knavery's plain face is never seen till used. It is Othello's pleasure, our noble and valiant general, that certain tidings now arrived, importing the mere perdition of the Turkish fleet. Every man put himself in triumph, some to dance, some to make bonfires, each man to what sport and revels his edition leads him. For besides these beneficial news, it is the celebration of his nuptial. So much was his pleasure should be proclaimed. All offices are open, and there is full liberty of feasting from this present hour of 5 till the bell have tolled 11. Heaven bless the Isle of Cyprus and our dear general, Othello.
Good Michael, look you to the guard tonight. Let's teach ourselves that honorable stop, not to outsport discretion. Iago hath direction what to do, notwithstanding with my personal eye will I look to it. Iago is most honest. Michael, good night. Tomorrow with your earliest let me have speech with you. Come, my dear love, The purchase made, the fruits are to ensue. That profit has yet to come between me and you. Good night. Welcome, Iago. We must to the watch. Not this hour, Lieutenant. 'Tis not yet 10 of the clock. Our general cast us thus early for the love of his Desdemona, who, let us not therefore blame, he hath not yet made wanton the night with her, and she is sport for Jove. She's a most exquisite lady, and I'll warrant her full of game. Indeed, she's a most fresh and delicate creature. What an eye she has! Methinks it sounds a parley of provocation. An inviting eye, and yet methinks right modest. And when she speaks, is it not an alarum to love? She is indeed perfection. Well, happiness to their sheets! Come, Lieutenant, I have a stoup of wine, and here without are a brace of Cyprus gallants that would fain to have a measure to the health of black Othello. Not tonight, good Iago. I have very poor and unhappy brains for drinking. I could well wish courtesy would invent some other custom of entertainment. Oh, they are our friends, but 1 cup. I'll drink for you. I have drunk but 1 cup tonight, and that was craftily qualified too. And behold, what innovation it makes here. I am unfortunate in the infirmity, and dare not task my weakness with any more. What, man? 'Tis a night of revels. The gallants desire it. Where are they? Here, at the door. I pray you, call them in. I'll do it, but it dislikes me.
If I can fasten but 1 cup upon him, that which he hath drunk tonight already, he will be as full of quarrel and offence as my young mistress's dog. Now my sick fool Roderigo, whom love hath turned almost the wrong side out, to Desdemona hath tonight caroused potations pottle deep. He's to watch. 3 lads of Cyprus, noble swelling spirits, that hold their honours in a wary distance, the very elements of this warlike isle, have I tonight flustered with flowing cups, and they watch too. Now, amongst this flock of drunkards, am I to put our Cassio in some action that may offend the isle? But here they come. If consequence do but approve my dream, my boat sails freely, both with wind and stream. For God, they have given me a rouse already. Good faith, little one, not past a pint, as I am a soldier. Some wine, ho! Let me the canakin clink clink, let me the canakin clink. A soldier's a man, a life's but a span. Why then let a soldier drink? Some wine, boys. For God, an excellent song. I learned it in England, where indeed they are most potent in potting. Your Dane, your German, and your swag-bellied Hollander, drink ho, are nothing to your English. Is your Englishman so expert in his drinking? Why, he drinks you with facility. Your Dane dead drunk. He sweats not to overthrow your Almeen. He gives your Hollander a vomit, ere the next pottle can be filled. To the health of our general. I am for it, Lieutenant, and I'll do you justice. Oh, sweet England, King Stephen was a worthy peer. His breeches cost him but a crown. He held them 6 pence all too dear. With that he called the sailor loan. He was a wight of high renown. And thou art but of low degree. 'Tis pride that pulls the country down. Then take thine old cloak about thee. Some wine, ho! Why, this is a more exquisite song than the other. Will you hear it again?
No, for I hold him unworthy of his place that does those things. Well, God's above all. There be souls that must be saved, and there be souls that must not be saved. It is true, good lieutenant. For my own part, no offense to the general or any man of worth, I hope to be safe, and so do I too, Lieutenant. Aye, but by your leave, not before me. The lieutenant is to be saved before the ancient. Let's have no more of this. Let's to our affairs. Forgive us our sins. Gentlemen, let's look to our business. Do not think, gentlemen, I am drunk. This is my ancient, this is my right hand, and this is my left. I am not drunk now. I can stand well enough and speak well enough. Excellent well. Why, very well then, you must not think that I am drunk. To the platforms, masters, come, let's set the watch. You see the soldier that has gone before. He is a soldier fit to stand by Caesar and give direction. And do but see his vice. 'Tis to his virtue a just equinox, the one as long as the other. 'Tis pity of him. I do fear the trust Othello puts him in. On some odd time of his infirmity, will shake this. But is he often thus? 'Tis evermore the prologue to his sleep. He'll watch the horologe a double set, if drink rock not his cradle. It were well the general put in mind of it. Perhaps he sees it not, or in his good nature prizes the virtue that appears in Cassio, and looks not on his evils. Is not this true? How now, Roderigo, I pray you, after the lieutenant, go. And 'tis a pity that the noble Moor should hazard a place such as his own second to one with an engraft infirmity. It were an honest action to say so to the Moor.
Not I, for this fair island. I do love Cassio well, and would do much to cure him of this evil. But hark, what noise?
Oh my god, no, dude, what are you doing? What, oh no, help, help, help!
You rogue! You rascal! What's the matter, Lieutenant? A knave, teach me my duty. I'll beat the knave into a twig and bottle. Beat me? Dost thou prate, rogue? Nay, good lieutenant, I pray you, sir, hold your hand. Let me go, sir, or I'll knock you o'er the mazzard. Come, you're drunk. Drunk? Oh, don't get... Aside to Roderigo. Hey, you. Away, I say, go out and cry mutiny. Oh. Nay, good lieutenant, alas, gentlemen, help, ho, alas, sir, here's a goodly watch indeed. Who's that which rings the bell? Diablo, ho, the town will rise, God's will, lieutenant. Hold, you will be shamed forever. What is the matter here? Zooms, I bleed, I am hurt. Oh no. Hold for your lives. Hold, ho, lieutenant, Sir Montano, gentlemen, have you forgot all sense of reason? Have you forgot all sense of place and duty? Hold, the general speaks to you. Hold for shame. Oh, just hold. Why, how now? Ho, from whence ariseth this? Are we turned Turks? And to ourselves do that which heaven hath forbid the Ottomites? For Christian shame, put by this barbarous brawl. Oh, you just get up right there. Just there you go. Both of y'all just chill. He that stirs next to carve for his own rage holds his soul light. He dies upon his motion. Silence that dreadful bell. It frights the isle from her propriety. What is the matter, masters? Honest Iago, that looks dead with grieving, speak. Who began this? On thy love I charge thee. Well, I do not know. Friends all but now, even now, in quarter and in terms like bride and groom, divesting them for bed.
And then, but now, as if some planet had unwitted men, swords out and tilting one at another's breast, in opposition, bloodily. I cannot speak. Any beginning to this peevish odds, and would in action glorious I had lost these legs that brought me to a part of it. How comes it, Michael? You are those forgot? I pray you, pardon me. I cannot speak. Worthy Montano, you once won't be Stephen. The gravity and stillness of your youth, the world hath noted, and your name is great in most ways to see it. What's the matter? That you own lazy reputation. Those, and spend your rich on paean for the name of a night brawler. Give me answer to it. Worthy Othello, I am hurt to danger. Your officer, Iago, can inform you, while I spare speech, which nothing now offends me, of all that I do, nor know I ought by me that said or done amiss this night. Unless self-charity can sometimes be a vice, and to defend ourselves and be a sin, when violence assails us. Now, by heaven, my blood begins, myself against the rule, and passion having my best judgment colleague, essays to lead the way if I once stay, or do but lift his arm, the best of you shall sink in my rebuke. Give me to know how this foul rot began. Who set it all? And he that is approved in this offense, though he had twained with me, both at a birth shall lose me. What in a town of war? Yet when the people's hearts being full of fear, to manage private and domestic quarrel in night and on the court, and God accepted this monstrous Iago. Who began it? If partially I find or leave the office, thou dost deliver more or less the truth. Thou art no soldier.
Touch me, not so near.
I had rather have this tongue cut from my mouth than it should do offense to Michael Cassio. Yet I persuade myself to speak the truth. Shall nothing wrong him, and thus it is general. Montano and myself being in speech, and there comes a fellow crying out for help, and Cassio following him with determined sword to execute upon him. This gentleman steps into Cassio and entreats his pause. Myself, the crying fellow, did pursue by his clamor as it so fell out. The town might fall in fright. He, swift of foot, outran my purpose, and I'd return the rather, for that I heard the clink and fall of Cassio high in oath, which till tonight I never might say before, when I came back. For this was brief. I found them close together. At blow and thrust, even as again they were when you yourself did part them. More of this matter I cannot report, but men are men, and the best sometimes forgets. Though Cassio did some little wrong to him, as men in rage strike those that wish them best, yet surely Cassio, I believe, received from him that fled some strange indignity, which patience could not pass. I know, Iago, thy honesty and love doth mince this matter, making light to Cassio. Cassio, I love thee, but never more be officer of mine. Look, if my gentle love not be raised up, I'll make thee an example. All's well now, sweeting. Come away to bed. Sir, for your hurts, myself will be your surgeon. Lead him off. Iago, look with care about town, and silence those whom this vile brawl distracted. Come, Desdemona, 'tis the soldier's life to have their balmy slumbers wait with strife. Are you hurt, Lieutenant? I passed all surgery. Oh, Mary, heaven forbid. Reputation, reputation, reputation. Oh, I have lost my reputation. I have lost the immortal part of myself, and what remains is bestial. My reputation, Iago, my reputation.
Come, man, I thought you had received some bodily wound. There'd be more sense in that than reputation. Reputation is an idol, oft got without deserve and lost without merit. What? There are ways to recover the general again. You are now but cast in his mood, punished more in policy than in malice, as one would beat his affrontless dog to affright the impervious lion. I would rather sue to be despised than deceive so good a commander with so slight, so drunken, so indiscreet an officer. What? Drunk and speak parrot and swagger and swear and vent frustrations with one's own shadow? Oh, invisible spirit of wine, if we have no other name to know thee by, let us call thee devil. What was he that you ran after with your sword? What had he done to you? I know not. 'Tis possible. I remember a mass of things, but nothing therefore. Oh, that men should put enemies in their mouths to steal their brains, that we with joy and pleasant revel and applause should transform ourselves into beasts. Now you seem well enough. How came you thus recovered? The devil drunkenness has given way to the devil wrath. One imperfectness shows me another, so I frankly despise myself. Come, you are too severe a moraler. As the time, the place, the condition of the country stands, I could heartily wish that this had not occurred, but as it is, mend it to your good. I shall ask him for my position again, and he will call me a drunkard.
Had I as many mouths as Hydra, such an answer would stop now, to be now a sensible man, by and by a fool, and presently a beast. Oh, strange! Every endured cup is unblessed and great is the devil.
来来来，酒是个好东西，如果使用得当，不要反对它。而且，众位，我想你认为我爱你。
I have well proved it, sir. I drunk.
你或者任何活着的男人都可以喝醉。这个时候， 我会告诉你该怎么办。我们将军的妻子现在是将军，在这方面上可以这么说，他献身并放弃了自己，向他坦白地承认自己。他的帮助可以使你再次安置在自己的位置上。他的性格是如此的自由，如此友善，如此贴切，如此幸运。他认为不做更多的事情是种恶习，反对任何值得称呼的财富，说爱情的裂痕会比以前更强大。
You are fasting what?
我抗议以长久的爱和诚恳的心。
I think if we be times in the one, I will beseech the virtuous Desdemona to undertake for me. I am desperate of fortune if they check me here.
你是对的，晚安，中尉，我必须要注意了。
Good night, honest Iago.
And what's he then that says I play the villain? When this advice is free, I give an honest probable to thinking, and indeed the course to win the more again. For 'tis most easy the inclining Desdemona to subdue in any honest suit. She's framed as fruitful as the free elements, and then for her to win the more, were it to renounce his baptism, all seals and symbols of redeemed sins. His soul is so enfettered to her love, that she may make, unmake, do what she list, even as her appetite shall play the god with his weak function. How am I, then, a villain to counsel Cassio to this parallel course, directly to his good? Divinity of hell. When devils will the blackest sins put on, they do suggest at first with heavenly shows, as I do now. For while the honest fool plies Desdemona to repair his fortunes, and she for him pleads strongly to the more, I'll pour this pestilence into his ear. But she repeals him for her body's lust, and by how much she strives to do him good, she shall undo her credit with the more. So will I turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her own goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all.
How now, Rodrigo? I do follow here in the chase. Not like a hound that hunts, but one that fills up the cry. My money is almost spent. I have been tonight exceedingly well cudgeled, and I think the issue will be I shall have so much experience for my pains, and so with no money at all and little more wit, return again to Venice. How poor are they that have not patience? What wound did ever heal but by degrees? Thou knowest we work by wit and not by witchcraft, and wit depends on dilatory time. Does it not go well? Cassio hath beaten thee, and thou by that small hurt hast cashiered Cassio. Though other things grow fair against the sun, yet fruits that blossom first will first be ripe. Content thyself a while. By the mass, 'tis morning. Pleasure and action make the hours seem short. Retire thee. Go where thou art billeted. Away, I say, thou shalt no more hereafter. Nay, get thee gone. Two things are to be done. My wife must move for Cassio to her mistress. I'll set her on. Myself the while to draw the Moor apart, and bring him jump when he may Cassio find soliciting his wife. That's the way. Thou'll not devise by coldness and delay.
speaking at us. How, sir? How? And these, I pray you, wind instruments? Aye, where they are, sir. Oh, thereby hangs a tale. Whereby hangs a tale, sir? Marry, sir, but many a wind instrument that I know. But masters, here's money for you. And the general so likes your music that he desires you, for love's sake, to make no more noise with it. Well, sir, we will not. If you have any music that may not be heard, toot again. But as they say, to hear music, the general does not greatly care. We have none such, sir. Then put up your pipes in your bags for all the way. Go! Vanish! Into air! Away! Dost thou hear, my honest friend? No, I hear not your honest friend. I hear you. Prithee, keep up thy clothes. There's a poor piece of gold for thee. If the gentlewoman that attends the general's wife be stirring, tell her there's one Cassio entreats her a little favor of speech. Wilt thou do this? She is stirring, sir. If she will stir hither, I shall seem to notify unto her. Do good, my friend. In happy time, Iago. You have not been abed then? I know. The day had broke before you. I have made bold, Iago, to send in to your wife. My suit to her is that she will to virtuous Desdemona, who call me some access. I'll send her to you presently, and I'll devise a mean to draw the Moor out of the way, so that your converse and business may be more free.
I humbly thank you for it. I never knew a Florentine more kind and honest.
Good morrow, good lieutenant. I am sorry for your displeasure, but all will sure be well. The general and his wife are talking of it, and she speaks for you stoutly. The Moor replies that he you hurt is of great fame in Cyprus, and great affinity, and that in wholesome wisdom he might not but refuse you, but he protests his love, and needs no other suitor but his likings to take the safest occasion by the front to bring you in again.
Yet I beseech you, if you think fit, or that it may be done, give me advantage of some brief discourse with Desdemona alone.
Pray you, come in. I will bestow you where you shall have time to speak your bosom freely.
I am much bound to you.
These letters give, Iago, to the pilot, and by him do my duty to the Senate. That done, I'll be walking on the works. Repair there to me.
Well, my good lord, I'll do it.
This fortification, gentlemen, shall we see it?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Be thou assured, good Cassio, I will do all my abilities in thy behalf. Good madam, do. I warrant it grieves my husband as if the case were his. Oh, that's an honest fellow. Do not doubt, Cassio, but I will have my lord and you again as friendly as you were. Bounteous madam, whatever shall become of Michael Cassio, he's never anything but your true servant. I know it. I thank you. You do love my lord. You have known him long, and be you well assured, he shall in strangeness stand no farther off than in a polite distance. Hey, but lady, that policy may either last so long, or feed upon such nice and water's diet, or breed itself so out of circumstance, that I being absent and my place supplied, my general will forget my love and service. Do not doubt that before Emily here I gave thee warrant of thy place. Assure thee, if I do vow a friendship, I will perform it to the last article. My lord shall never rest. I'll watch him tame and talk him out of patience. His bed shall seem a school, his board a shrift. I'll intermingle everything he does with Cassio's suit. Therefore, be merry, Cassio, for thy solicitor shall rather die than give thy cause away. Madam, here comes my lord. Madam, I'll take my leave. Why, stay and hear me speak. Madam, not now. I am very ill at ease, unfit for my own purpose. Well, do your discretion. Ha! I like not that. What dost thou say? Nothing, my lord, or if I know not what. Was that not Cassio parted from my wife? Cassio, my lord? No, sure, I cannot think it, that he was still away so guilty like seeing you coming. I do believe 'twas he.
How now, my lord? I have been talking with a suitor here, a man that languishes in your displeasure.
Who is it, you mean?
Why, you are Lieutenant Cassio. Good my lord, if I have any grace or power to move you, his present reconciliation take. For if he be not one that truly loves you, that errs in ignorance and not in cunning, I have no judgment in an honest face. I prithee, call him back.
Went he hence now?
I so sooth so humbled, that he hath left part of his grief with me, to suffer with him. Good love, call him back.
Not now, sweet Desdemona, some other time.
But shall be shortly?
The sooner, sweet, for you.
Shall be tonight at supper?
No, not tonight.
Tomorrow dinner then?
I shall not dine at home. I meet the captains at the citadel.
Why, then tomorrow night, Tuesday morn, or Tuesday noon, or night, or Wednesday morn. I prithee name the time, but let it not exceed 3 days. In faith he is penitent, and yet has trespassed in our common reason. Say that, they say the wards must make examples out of their best, it is not almost a fault to incur a private check. When shall he come? Tell me, Othello. I wonder in my soul what you would ask me that I should deny, or stand so murmuring on. What, Michael Cassio, that came awing with you so many a time when I have spoke of you dispraisingly, had taken your part, to have so much to do to bring him in. Trust me, I could do much.
Oh, prithee, no more. Let him come when he will. I will deny thee nothing.
Why, this is not a boon. This I should entreat you wear your gloves, or feed on nourishing dishes, or keep you warm, or sue to you to do a peculiar profit to your own person.
Nay, when I have a suit with wherein I mean to touch your love indeed, it shall be full of poise and difficult weight, and fearful to be granted.
I will deny thee nothing, wherein I do beseech thee, grant me this, to leave me but a little to myself.
Shall I deny you? No. Farewell, my lord.
Farewell, my Desdemona. I'll come to thee straight.
Amelia, come. Be as your fancies teach you, whether I am obedient.
Excellent wretch. Perdition catch my soul, but I do love thee. And when I love thee not, chaos has come again.
My noble lord.
What dost thou say, Iago?
Did Michael Cassio, when you wooed my lady, know if your love?
He did, from first to last. Why dost thou ask?
But for a satisfaction ought my thought no further harm.
Why of that thought, Iago?
I did not think he'd been acquainted with her.
Oh yes, and went between us very oft.
Indeed?
Indeed, aye, indeed. Discerns thou aught in that? Is he not honest?
Honest, my lord.
Honest, aye, honest.
My lord, for aught I know.
What dost thou think?
Think, my lord.
Think, my lord. Alas, thou echoest me as if there were some monster in thy thought, too hideous to be shown. Dost thou mean something? I heard thee say even now thou likest not that when Cassio left my wife. Why dost not like? And when I told thee he was of my counsel, of my whole course of wooing, thou criest, indeed? And didst contract and purse thy brow together as if thou hadst shut up in thy brain some horrible conceit. If thou dost love me, show me thy thought.
My lord, you know I love you.
I think thou dost. And for I know thou art full of love and honesty, and weighest thy words before thou givest them breath. Therefore these stops of thine fright me the more.
For such things in a false disloyal knave are tricks of custom, but in a man that's just, they are close delations, working from the heart that passion cannot rule.
For Michael Cassio, I dare be sworn I think that he is honest.
I think so too.
Men should be what they seem, or those that be not, would they might seem none.
Certain men should be what they seem.
Why then, I think Cassio's an honest man.
Yahang. Kibina. Kibina! Ehin toke yon spewa hamia heyin. As thou dost ruminate and give thy worst of thoughts the worst of words.
Good my lord, pardon me. Though I am bound to every act of duty, I am not bound to that all slaves are free to. Utter my thoughts. Why, say they are vile and false. As where's that palace whereinto foul things sometimes intrude not? Who has a breast so pure? But some uncleanly apprehensions keep leets and law days, and in session sit with meditations lawful.
Thou dost conspire against thy friend Iago, if thou but think'st him wronged, and makest his ear a stranger to thy thoughts.
I do beseech you, though I perchance am vicious in my guess, as I confess it is my nature's plague to spy into abuses, and oft my jealousy shapes faults that are not. That your wisdom yet, that from one that so imperfectly conceits, would take no notice, or build yourself a trouble out of his scattering and unsure observance. It were not for your quiet, nor your good, nor my manhood, honesty, or wisdom to let you know my thoughts.
Akahaya hepiwo.
Good name in man and woman, dear my lord, is the immediate jewel of their souls. Who steals my purse steals trash. 'Tis something, nothing. 'Twas mine, 'tis his, and has been slave to thousands. But he that filches from my good name robs me of that which not enriches him, and makes me poor indeed.
By heaven, I'll know thy thought.
You cannot, if my heart were in my hand, nor shall not, whilst is in my custody. Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on. That cuckold lives in bliss, who certain of his fate, loves not his wronger. But oh, what damned minute tells he o'er, who dotes, yet doubts, suspects, yet strongly loves. Poor and content is rich and rich enough, but riches fineless is as poor as winter to he that ever fears he shall be poor. Good heaven, the souls of all my tribe defend from jealousy. Why is this? Think'st thou I'd make a life of jealousy? To follow still the changes of the moon with fresh suspicion? No. To be once in doubt is once to be resolved. Exchange me for a goat, when I shall turn the business of my soul to such exsufflicate and blown surmises, matching thy inference. 'Tis not to make me jealous, to say my wife is fair, feeds well, loves company, is free of speech, sings, plays, and dances well. Where virtue is, these are more virtuous. Nor from mine own weak merit will I draw the smallest fear or doubt of her revolt. For she had eyes and chose me. No, Iago. I'll see before I doubt. When I doubt, prove. And on the proof, there is no more but this. Away at once with love or jealousy. I'm glad of it, for now I shall have reason to show the love and duty that I bear you with franker spirit. Therefore, as I am bound, receive it from me. I speak not yet of proof. Look to your wife. Observe her well with Cassio. Wear your eye thus, not jealous, nor secure. I would not have your free and noble nature out of self-bounty be abused. Look to it. I know our country disposition well. In Venice they do let heaven see the pranks they dare not show their husbands. Their best conscience is not to leave it undone, but keep it unknown.
Dost thou say so? She did deceive her father marrying you, and when she seemed to shake and fear your looks, she loved them most. And so she did. Why go to then? She that so young could give out such a seeming to seal her father's eyes up close as oak. He thought 'twas witchcraft. But I am much to blame. I humbly do beseech you of your pardon for too much loving you. I am bound to thee forever. I see this hath a little dashed your spirits. Not a jot, not a jot. In faith, I fear it has. I hope you will consider what I spoke comes from my love, but I do see you are moved. I am to pray you not to strain my speech to grosser issues, nor to larger reach than to suspicion. I will not. Should you do so, my lord, my speech should fall into such vile success as my thoughts aim not at. Cassio's my worthy friend. Oh, my lord, I see you are moved. No, not much moved. I do not think, but Desdemona's honest. Long live she so, and long live you to think so. And yet, how nature erring from itself. Aye, there's the point. As, to be bold with you, not to affect many proposed matches of her own clime, complexion, and degree, whereto we see in all things nature tends. Foe! One may smell in such a will most rank, foul, disproportioned thoughts, unnatural. But, pardon me, I do not in position distinctly speak of her, though I may fear her will, recoiling to her better judgment, may fall to match you with her country forms, and happily repent. Farewell, farewell. If more thou dost perceive, let me know more. Set on thy wife to observe. Leave me, Iago. Oh, my lord, I take my leave. Why did I marry? This honored creature doubtless sees and knows more, much more, than he unfolds.
My lord, I would I might entreat your honor to scan this thing no further. Leave it a time. Though it be fit that Cassio have his place, for sure he fills it up with great ability, yet, if you please to hold him off a while, you shall by that perceive him and his means. Note, if your lady strain his entertainment with any strong or vehement importunity, much will be seen in that. In the meantime, let me be thought too busy in my fears. As worthy cause I have to fear, I am. And hold her free. I do beseech your honor. Fear not my government. I once more take my leave. This fellow's of exceeding honesty, and knows all qualities with a learned spirit of human dealings. If I do prove her haggard, though that her jesses were my dear heartstrings, I'll whistle her off, and let her down the wind to prey at fortune. Happily, for I am rough, and know not those soft parts of conversation that chamberers have, or that I am declined into the vale of years. Yet that's not much. She's gone. I'm abused, and my relief must be to loathe her. Oh, curse of marriage, that we may call such delicate creatures ours, and not their appetites. I had rather be a toad, and live upon the vapor of a dungeon, than keep a corner of the thing I love for others' uses. Yet 'tis the plague of great ones. Prerogatived are they less than the base. 'Tis destiny unshunnable, like death. Even then, this forked plague is fated to us when we do quicken. Desdemona comes. If she be false, oh, then heaven mocks itself. I'll not believe it. How now, my dear Othello? Your dinner and the generous islanders by you invited do attend your presence. I am to blame. Why do you speak so faintly? Are you not well? I have a pain upon my forehead here. Faith, that's with watching. 'Twill away again. Let me but bind it hard. Within this hour it will be well.
Your napkin is too little. Let it alone. Come, I'll go in with you. I'm very sorry that you are not well. Oh, I'm glad to have found this napkin. This was her first remembrance from the moor. My wayward husband hath 100 times wooed me to steal it. But she still loves the token. For he conjured her she should ever keep it, that she reserves it evermore about her to kiss and talk to. I'll have the work taken out. And give it to Iago. What he will do with it, heaven knows, not I. I'm nothing but to please his fantasy. How now? What do you here alone? Do not you chide. I have a thing for you. A thing for me? It is a common thing. Ha! To have a foolish wife. Oh, is that all? What will you give me now for the same handkerchief? What handkerchief? What handkerchief? Why, that Moor first gave Desdemona, that you so often did bid me steal. Hast stolen it from her? No, faith. She let it drop by negligence, and to the advantage, I being here, took it up. Look, here it is. A good wench. Give it me. What will you do with it that you have been so earnest to have me flinch it? Why? What's it to you? If it not be for some purpose of import, give me again. Poor lady, she'll run mad if she shall lack it. Be not known on it. I have use for it. Go, leave me. I will in Cassio's lodging lose this napkin and let him find it. Trifles light as air are to the jealous confirmation strong. As proof of holy writ, this may do something. The more already changes with my poison. Dangerous conceits are, in their natures, poisons.
Which of the first are scarce found to distaste, but with a little act upon the blood burn like mines of sulphur? I did say so. Look where he comes. Not poppy, nor mandragora, nor all the drowsy syrups of the world shall ever medicine thee to that sweet sleep which thou owest yesterday. Ha ha! False to me? Why, how now, General? No more of that. Avaunt! Be gone! Thou hast set me on the rack. I swear 'tis better to be much abused than but to know it a little. How now, my lord, what sense had I of her stolen hours of lust? I saw it not, thought it not, it harmed me not. I slept the next night well, was free and merry. I found not Cassio's kisses on her lips. He that is robbed, not wanting what is stolen, let him know it not, and he's not robbed at all. I am sorry to hear this. I had been happy if the general camp, pioneers and all, had tasted of her sweet body, so I had nothing known. Oh, now, forever, farewell the tranquil mind, farewell content, farewell the plumed troop and the big wars that make ambition virtue. Ah, farewell! Farewell the neighing steed and the shrill trump, the spirit-stirring drum, the ear-piercing fife, the royal banner, and all quality, pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war. Oh, you mortal engines, whose rude throats the immortal Jove's dead clamors counterfeit, farewell! Othello's occupation's gone. Is it possible, my lord? Villain, be sure thou prove my love a whore. Be sure of it. Give me ocular proof, or by the worth of man's eternal soul, thou hadst better have been born a dog than answer my wicked wrath. Is it come to this?
Make me to see it, or at the least prove it, that the probation bear no hinge nor loop to hang a doubt on, or woe upon thy life.
My noble lord.
If thou dost slander her and torture me, never pray more. Abandon all remorse. On horror's head, horrors accumulate. Do deeds to make heaven weep, all earth amazed, for nothing canst thou to damnation add greater than this.
Oh, grace, oh, heaven, forgive me. Are you a man? Have you a soul or sense? God be with you. Take mine office, O wretched fool, that livest to make thine honesty a vice. O monstrous world, take note, take note. O world, to be direct and honest is not safe. I thank you for this profit, and from hence I'll love no friend, sith love breeds such offense.
Nay, stay, thou shouldst be honest.
I should be wise, for honesty is a fool and loses that it works for.
By the world, I think my wife be honest and think she is not. I think that thou art just and think thou art not. I'll have some proof. Her name that was as fresh as Dian's visage is now begrimed and black as mine own face. If there be cords, or knives, poison, or fire, or suffocating streams, I'll not endure it. Would I were satisfied.
I see, sir, you are eating up with passion. I do repent me that I put it to you. You would be satisfied?
Would? Nay, I will.
Nay, but now, how? How satisfied, my lord, would you, the supervisor, grossly gape on? Behold her topped.
Death and damnation! Oh!
Oh. It were a tedious difficulty, I think, to bring them to that prospect. Damn them, then, if ever mortal eyes do see them bolster more than their own. What then? How then? What shall I say? Where's satisfaction?
It is impossible you should see this. Were they as prime as goats, as hot as monkeys, as salt as wolves in pride, and fools as gross as ignorance made drunk? But yet, I say, if imputation and strong circumstances which lead directly to the door of truth will give you satisfaction, you may have it.
Give me a living reason she's disloyal.
I do not like the office, but sith I am entered in this cause so far, pricked to it by foolish honesty and love, I will go on. I lay with Cassio lately, and being troubled with a raging tooth, I could not sleep. There are a kind of men so loose of soul that in their sleeps will mutter their affairs. One of this kind is Cassio. In sleep I heard him say, "Sweet Desdemona, let us be wary, let us hide our loves." And then, sir, would he gripe and wring my hand, cry, "Oh, sweet creature," and then kiss me hard, as if he plucked up kisses by the roots that grew upon my lips, and then laid his leg over my thigh and sighed, and kissed, and then cried, "Cursed fate that gave thee to the morn."
Oh, monstrous!
Nay,
Monstrous!
this was but his dream.
But this denoted a foregone conclusion. 'Tis a shrewd doubt, though it be but a dream.
And this may help to thicken other proofs that do demonstrate thinly.
I'll tear her all to pieces.
Nay, but be wise. Yet we see nothing done, she may yet be honest. Tell me but this. Have you not sometimes seen a handkerchief spotted with strawberries in your wife's hand?
I gave her such a one. 'Twas my first gift.
I know not that. But such a handkerchief, I am sure it was your wife's, did I today see Cassio wipe his beard with.
If it be that.
If it be that, or any that was hers, it speaks against her with the other proofs. Oh, that the slave had 40,000 lives! One is too poor, too weak from my revenge! Now do I see 'tis true. Look here, Iago. All my fond love, thus do I blow up to heaven. 'Tis gone. Arise, black vengeance, from thy hollow cell. Yield up, O love, thy crown and haunted throne to tyrannous hate. Swell, bosom, with thy fraught, for 'tis of aspics' tongues. Yet be content. Oh, blood, blood, blood! Patience, I say. Your mind perhaps may change. Never, Iago. Like to the Pontic Sea, whose icy current and compulsive course never feels retiring ebb, but keeps due on to the Propontic and the Hellespont, even so my bloody thoughts with violent pace shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb to humble love, till that capable and wide revenge swallow them up. Now, by yond marble heaven, in the due reverence of a sacred vow, I here engage my words. Do not rise yet. Witness, you ever-burning lights above, you elements that clip us round about, witness that here Iago doth give up the execution of his wit, hands, heart, to wronged Othello's service. Let him command, and to obey shall be in me remorse. What bloody business ever! I greet thy love, not with vain thanks, but with acceptance bounteous, and will upon the instant put thee to it. Within these 3 days, let me hear thee say that Cassio's not alive. My friend is dead. 'Tis done at your request. But let her live. Damn her lewd minx! Oh, damn her! Come. Go with me apart. I will withdraw to furnish me with some swift means of death for the fair devil. Now, art thou my lieutenant? I am your own forever.
Do you know, Sir, where Lieutenant Cassio lies?
I do not so.
Why, man?
He's a soldier. And for one to say a soldier lies is stabbing.
Go to where lodges he.
To tell you where he lodges is to tell you where I lie.
Can anything be made of this?
I know not where he lodges, and to devise a lodging and say he lies here or he lies there, where to lie in my own throat.
Can you inquire him out and be edified by report?
I will catechize the world for him, that is, make questions and by them answer.
Seek him. Bid him come hither. Tell him I have moved my lord on his behalf, and all will be well.
To do this is within the compass of man's wit,
and therefore I will attempt the doing it. Where should I lost that handkerchief, Emilia?
I know not, madam.
Believe me, I had rather have lost my purse. Full of crucidos. And but my noble Moor is true of mine and made of no such baseness. As jealous creatures are, it were enough to put him to ill thinking.
Is he not jealous?
Who? He. I think the sod where he was born drew all such humors from him.
Look, where he comes.
I will not leave him now till Cassio be called to him. How's it with you, my lord?
Well, my good lady. Oh, hardness to disassemble.
How do you, Desdemona? Well, my good lord, give me your hand.
This hand is moist, my lady.
It yet hath felt no age, nor know no sorrow.
This argues fruitfulness and liberal heart.
Hot and moist, this hands of yours requires a sequester from liberty, fasting and prayer. Much castigation, exercise devout. For here's a young and sweating devil here that commonly rebels. 'Tis a good hand, a frank one. You may indeed say so, for 'twas the hand that gave away my heart. A liberal hand, the hearts of old gave hands, but our new heraldry is hand, not hearts.
I cannot speak of this. Come now, your promise. What promise, Chuck? I've sent to good Cassio come speak with you. I have a salt and sorry room offends me. Lend me that handkerchief. Here, my lord. That which I gave you, I have it not about me. Not? No, indeed, my lord. That is a fault. That handkerchief did an Egyptian to my mother give. She was a charmer, could almost read the thoughts of people. She told her, while she kept it, it would make her amiable and subdue my father entirely to her love. But if she lost it, and made gift of it, my father's eye should hold her loathed, and his spirits should hunt after new fancies. She, dying, gave it to me, and bid me, when my fate would have me wife, to give it to her. I did so, and take heed on it. Make it a darling like your precious eye. To lose it or give it away is such a perdition as nothing else could match it. Is it possible? 'Tis true. There's magic in the web of it. The Sibyl that had numbered in the world the sun to course 200 compasses, in her prophetic fury sowed the work. And the worms were hollowed that did breed the silk. And it was dyed in mummy, which the skillful conservative names hearts. Indeed, is it true? Most veritable. Therefore look to it well. And would to God that I had never seen it. Ha! Wherefore? Is it lost? Is it gone? Speak! Is it out of the way? Heaven bless us. Say you. It is not lost. But what in if it were? How? I say it is not lost. Fetch it. Let me see it. Why, so I can, sir. But I will not now. This is a trick to put me from my suit. I pray you, let Cassio be received again. Fetch me the handkerchief. My mind misgives.
Come, you'll never meet a more sufficient man.
The handkerchief.
I pray, talk to me of Cassio.
The handkerchief.
A man that all of his time hath founded his good fortunes on your love, shared dangers with you.
The handkerchief!
In sooth, you are to blame.
Away!
Is not this man jealous? I never saw this before. Sure, there's some wonder in this handkerchief. I am most unhappy at the loss of it. 'Tis not a year or two shows us a man. They are all but stomachs, and we all but food. To eat us hungrily, and when they are full, they belch us. Look you, Cassio and my husband.
There is no other way, 'tis she must do it. And lo, the happiness. Go and importune her.
How now, good Cassio? What's the news with you? Madam, my former suit, I do beseech you that by your virtuous means I may again exist, and be a member of his love, whom I with all the office of my heart entirely honor. I would not be delayed, if my offence be of such mortal kind that nor my service past, nor present sorrows, nor purposed merit in futurity can ransom me into his love again, but to know so must be my benefit. So shall I clothe me in a forced content, and shut myself up in some other course, to fortune's alms. Alas, thrice gentle Cassio, my advocation is not now in tune. My lord is not my lord, nor should I know him were he in favours and humour altered. So help me every spirit sanctified, as I have spoken for you all my best, and stood within the blank of his displeasure for my free speech. You must awhile be patient. What I can do, I will, and more I will than for myself I dare. Let that suffice you.
Is my lord angry?
He went hence but now, and certainly in strange unquietness. Can he be angry? I have seen the cannon, when it hath blown his rakes into the air, and like the devil, from his very arm, puffed his own brother. And can he be angry? Something of moment, then. I will go meet him. There's matter in it, indeed, if he be angry. I pray thee do so. Something sure of state, either from Venice or some unhatched practice, main demonstrable here in Cyprus to him, hath puddled his clear spirit, and in such cases men's natures wrangle with inferior things, though great ones are their object. 'Tis even so, for let our finger ache and induce our other helpful members, even to that sense of pain. Nay, we must think men are not gods, nor of them look for such observances as fits the bridal. Bestrew me much, Emilia. I was unhandsome warrior as I am, arraigning his unkindness with my soul. But now I find I had suborned the witness, and he's indicted falsely. Pray heaven it be state matters, as you think, and no conception nor no jealousy toy concerning you. Alas, the day! I never gave him cause. But jealous souls will not be answered so. They are not ever jealous for the cause, but jealous for they are jealous. 'Tis a monster begot upon itself, born on itself. Heaven keep that monster from Othello's mind. Lady, amen. I will go seek him, Cassio. Walk hereabout. If I do find him fit, I'll move your suit, and seek to effect it to my uttermost. I humbly thank your ladyship. Save you, friend Cassio. What make you from home? How is it with you, my most fair Bianca? I faith, sweet love, I was coming to your house, and I was going to your lodging, Cassio. What keep a week away? 7 days and nights, 8 hours? And lover's absence hours, more tedious than the dial 8 times? Oh, weary reckoning! Pardon me, Bianca. I have this while with leaden thoughts been pressed, but I shall, in a more continuate time, strike off this score of absence, sweet Bianca. Take me this work out. Cassio, whence came this? This is some token from a newer friend. To the felt absence now I feel as a cause. Is come to this? Well, well. Go to, woman. Throw your vile guesses in the devil's teeth, from whence you have them. You are jealous now, that this is from some mistress, some remembrance. No, in good troth, Bianca. Why, whose is it? I know not, sweet. I found it in my chamber. I like the work well, ere it be demanded. As like enough it will, I'd have it copied. Take it, and do it, and leave me for this time. Leave you, wherefore? I do attend here on the general, and think it no addition, nor my wish, to have him see me womaned. Why, I pray you? Not that I love you not, but that you do not love me. I pray you, bring me on the way a little, and say if I shall see you soon at night. 'Tis but a little way that I can bring you, for I attend here, but I'll see you soon. 'Tis very good. I must be circumstanced.
Will you think so? Think so, Iago. What? To kiss in private? An unauthorized kiss. Or to be naked with her friend in bed an hour or more and not mean any harm? Naked in bed, Iago, and not mean harm. It is hypocrisy against the devil. They that mean virtuously and yet do so. The devil their virtue tempts, and they tempt heaven. So they do nothing. 'Tis a venial slip. But if I give my wife a handkerchief, what then? Why then, 'tis hers, my lord. And being hers, she may, I think, bestow it upon any man. She is protectress of her honor too. May she give that? Her honor is an essence that's not a seen. They have it, they very oft have it not. But for the handkerchief, by heaven, I would most gladly have forgot it.
Thou says it comes of my memory, as doth the raven of the infected house. Bought into all he had my handkerchief.
Aye, what of that?
That's not so good now.
What? If I had said I had seen him do you wrong, or heard him say, as knaves be such abroad, who having by their own important suit, or voluntary dotage of some mistress, convinced or supplied them cannot choose, but they must blab.
Have he said anything?
He hath, my lord. But be you well assured, no more than he'll unswear.
What have he said?
Faith, that he did. I know not what he did.
What? What?
Lie.
with her, on her, what you will. Lie with her, lie on her. We say lie on her when they belie her. Lie with her, that's fulsome. Handkerchief, confessions, handkerchief.
To confess, be hanged for his labor. First, to be hanged, and then to confess. I tremble at it. Nature would not invest herself in such shadowing passion without some instruction. It is not words that shake me thus. Pish. Noses, ears, and lips. Is it possible? Confess? The handkerchief. Handkerchief. Oh, devil. Work on, my medicine, work. Thus credulous fools are caught, and many worthy and chaste dames even thus, all guiltless, meet reproach. What, my lord. My lord, I say, Othello? How now, Cassio? Oh, what's the matter? Oh, my lord has fallen into an epilepsy. This is his second fit. He had one yesterday. Well, rub him about his temples. No. Forbear. The lethargy must have his quiet course. If not, he foams at his mouth and by breaks out to savage madness. Look! He stirs.
Do you withdraw yourself a little while? He will recover straight. When he is gone, I would on great occasion speak with you. How is it, General? Have you not hurt your head? Dost thou mock me? I mock you, no, by heaven. Would you would bear your fortune like a man. A horned man's a monster, and a beast. There's many a beast then in a populous city, and many a civil monster. Did he confess it? Good sir, be a man. Think every bearded fellow that's but yoked may draw with you. There's millions now alive that nightly lie in those improper beds which they dare swear peculiar. Your case is better. Oh, 'tis the spite of hell. The fiend's arch mock to lip a wanton in a secure couch, and to suppose her chaste. No. Let me know. And knowing what I am, I know what she shall be. Oh, thou art wise, 'tis certain.
Stand you a while apart. Confine yourself in a patient list. Whilst you are here, overwhelmed with your grief, a passion most unsuiting such a man, Cassio came hither. I shifted him away and laid good excuse upon your ecstasy, bade him anon return, and here speak with me, the which he promised. Do but encave yourself, and mark the fleers, the gibes, and notable scorns that dwell in every region of his face, for I will make him tell the tale anew. Where, how oft, how long ago, and when he hath and is again to cope your wife. I say, but mark his gesture, marry patience, or I shall say you are all in spleen and nothing of a man. Dost thou hear, Iago? I will be found most cunning in my patience, but dost thou hear? Most bloody. That's not amiss. Yet, keep time in all. Oh, will you withdraw?
Now will I question Cassio of Bianca, a housewife that by selling her desires buys herself bread and clothes. It is a creature that dotes on Cassio, as 'tis the strumpet's plague, to beguile and be beguiled by one. He, when he hears of her, cannot refrain from the excess of laughter. Here he comes. As he shall smile, Othello shall go mad, and his unbookish jealousy must construe poor Cassio's smiles, gestures, and light behavior quite in the wrong. How do you now, Lieutenant?
The worser that you give me the addition, whose want even kills me.
Ply does stamina well, and you are sure on't. Now, if this suit lay in Bianca's power, how quickly should you speed?
Alas, poor caitiff. Look how he laughs already.
I never knew women love men so.
Alas, poor rogue, I think, in faith she loves me. Now he denies it faintly, and laughs it out. Do you hear, Cassio? Now he importunes him to tell it over. Go to. Well said, well said. She gives it out that you shall marry her. Do you intend it? Do you triumph, Roman? Do you triumph? I marry her. What? A customer? Prithee, bear some clarity to my wit, and do not think it so unwholesome. So. They laugh that win. Faith, the cry goes that you shall marry her. Prithee, say true. I am a very villain else. Have you scored me? Well, this is the monkey's own giving out. She is persuaded. I will marry her, out of her own love and flattery, not out of my promise.
Iago beckons me. Now he begins the story. She was here even now. She haunts me in every place. I was the other day talking on the sea bank with certain Venetians, and thither comes the bauble, and by this hand she falls me thus about my neck, crying, "Oh, dear Cassio," as it were. His gesture imports it. So hangs and lolls and weeps upon me, so hails and pulls me. Now he tells how she plucked him to my chamber. Oh, I see that nose of yours, but not the dog I shall throw it to. Well, I must leave her company. Before me, look where she comes. 'Tis such another fit you. Marry a perfumed one. What do you mean by this haunting of me? Let the devil and his dam haunt you. What did you mean by that same handkerchief you gave me even now? I was a fine fool to take it. I must take out the work? A likely piece of work, that you should find it in your chamber and not know who left it there. This is some minx's token, and I must take out the work. There, give it your hobby horse, wheresoever you had it. I'll take out no work on't. How now, my sweet Bianca, how now, how now? By heaven, that should be my handkerchief. You'll come to supper tonight? You may, and you will not. Come when you're next prepared for. After her. Faith, I must. She'll rail in the street else. Will you sup there? Faith, I intend so. Well, I may chance to see you, for I would very fain speak with you. Prithee come, will you? Go to, say no more. How shall I murder him, Iago? Did you perceive how he laughed at his vice?
And, did you see the handkerchief? Was this mine? Yours by this hand. And to see how he prizes the foolish woman that is your wife. She gave it him, and he has given it to his whore. I would have him 9 years of killing. A fine woman. A fair woman. A sweet woman. Oh, nay. You must forget that. Let her rot. Perish. And be damned tonight. Oh, she will not live, no. My heart is turned to stone. I strike it, and it hurts my hand. The world hath not a sweeter creature. She might lie at an emperor's side and command him tasks. Nay, that is not your way. Hang her! For I speak of what she is. So delicate with the needle. An admirable musician. Oh, she can play the savageness out of a bear. Or just such plenteous wit and invention.
And for Cassio, let me be his undertaker. You shall hear more by midnight. Excellent, good. What trumpet is that same? Something from Venice, sure. 'Tis Lodovico come from the Duke, and see, your wife is with him. Save you, worthy general. With all my heart, sir. The Duke and Senators of Venice greet you. I kiss the instrument of their pleasures. And what's the news, good cousin Lodovico? I am very glad to see you, signor. Welcome to Cyprus. I thank you. How does Lieutenant Cassio? Lives, sir. Cousin, there's fallen between him and my lord an unkind breach, but you shall make all well. Are you sure of that? My lord, this fail you not to do as you will. He did not call. He's busy in the paper. Is there division twixt my lord and Cassio?
A most unhappy one. I would do much to atone them for the love I bear for Cassio.
Fire and brimstone!
My lord?
Are you wise?
What? Is he angry?
Maybe the letter moved him, for as I think they do command him home, deputing Cassio in his government.
Trust me, I'm glad on it.
Indeed!
My lord?
Oh, I'm glad to see you mad.
Why, sweet Othello.
Devil!
I have not deserved this. My lord, this would not be believed in Venice, though I swear I saw it. 'Tis very much.
Make her amends. She weeps. Devil! Devil! If that the earth could teem with a woman's tears, each drop she falls would prove a crocodile. Out of my sight! I will not stay to offend you.
Truly, an obedient lady, I do beseech your lordship, call her back. Mistress! My lord? What would you with her, sir? Oh, I, my lord, I. You did wish that I would make her turn. She can turn and yet go on and turn again, and she can weep, sir, weep. And she is obedient, as you say. Obedient, very obedient. Proceed in your tears. Concerning this, sir, oh, well painted passion. I am commanded home. Get you away. I'll call for you anon, sir. I obey the mandate and will return to Venice. Hence, avaunt! Cassio shall have my place. And, sir, tonight, I do entreat that you may sup together. You are welcome here in Cyprus. Goats and monkeys!
Is this the noble Moor, who our full senate called all in all suitable, whose nature passion could not shake, whose solid virtue neither shot of chance nor dart of accident could pierce? He is much changed. Is he light of brain? He is that he is. It is not for me to breathe my censure as to what he might be. If he might is not what he is, I would to heaven he were. What, strike his wife? Faith, that was not so well. I would that I knew that that stroke would be the worst. Is it his use? Or did the letters work upon his blood and new create this fault? Alas, alas, it is not honesty in me to speak what I have seen and know. Observe him, and his own actions will denote him so that I may save my speech. Go but after him and mark how he continues. I'm sorry that I'm deceived in him.
You have seen nothing, then? Nor ever heard, nor ever did suspect? Yes, you have seen Cassio and she together. But then I saw no harm, and then I heard each syllable that breath made up between them. What, did they never whisper? Never, my lord. Nor send you out of the way? Never. To fetch her fan, her gloves, her mask, nor nothing? Never, my lord. That's strange. I durst, my lord, to wager she is honest, lay down my soul at stake. If you think other, remove your thought. It doth abuse your bosom. If any wretch hath put this into your head, let heaven requite it with the serpent's curse. For if she be not honest, chaste, and true, there's no man happy. The purest of their wives is foul as slander. Bid her come hither. Go. She says enough, yet she's a simple bawd that cannot say as much. This is a subtle whore, a closet lock and key of villainous secrets, and yet she'll kneel and pray. I've seen her do it. My lord, what is your will? Pray, Chuck, come hither. What is your pleasure? Let me see your eyes. Look into my face. What horrible fancy is this? Some of your function, mistress. Leave procreants alone and shut the door. Cough or cry hem if anybody come. Your mystery. Nay, dispatch.
Upon my knees, what doth your speech import? I understand a fury in your words, but not the words.
Why, what art thou?
Your wife, my lord, your true and loyal wife.
Come, swear it, damn thyself, lest being like one of heaven, the devils themselves should fear to seize thee. Therefore be double damned. Swear thou art honest.
Heaven doth truly know it.
Heaven truly knows that thou art false as hell. To whom, my lord? With whom? How am I false? O Desdemona, away, away, away! Alas, the heavy day! Why do you weep? Am I the motive of these tears, my lord? If haply you, my father, do suspect an instrument of this your calling back, lay not your blame on me. If you have lost him, why, I have lost him too. Had it pleased heaven to try me with affliction, had they rained all sorts of sores and shames on my bare head, steeped me in poverty to the very lips, given to captivity me and my utmost hopes, I should have found in some place of my soul a drop of patience. But, alas, to make me a fixed figure for the time of scorn to point his slow unmoving finger at? Yet I could bear that too. Well, very well. But there where I have garnered up my heart, where either I must live or bear no life, the fountains from which my current runs, or else dries up, to be discarded thence, or keep it as a cistern for foul toads to knot and gender in. Turn thy complexion there. Patience, thou young and rose-lipped cherubin. Aye, there, look, grim as hell. I hope my noble lord esteems me honest. Oh, aye, as summer flies are in the shambles that quicken even with blowing. O thou weed, which art so lovely fair and smellest so sweet, that the sense aches at thee would thou hadst ne'er been born. Alas, what ignorant sin have I committed? Was this fair paper, this most goodly book, made to write whore upon? What committed? Committed, O thou public commoner! I shall make very forges of my cheeks that would to cinders burn up modesty. But I did speak thy deeds. What committed? Heaven stops the nose at it, and the moon winks. The body wind that kisses all its meats is hushed within the hollow minds of earth, and will not hear it. What committed? Impudent strumpet!
By heaven, you do me wrong. Are you not a strumpet? No, as I am a Christian. If to preserve this vessel for my lord from any other foul, unlawful touch, be not to be a strumpet, I am none. What, not a whore? No, as I shall be saved. It's possible. Oh, heaven forgive us. I cry you mercy then. I took you for that cunning whore of Venice that married with Othello. You, mistress, that have the office opposite St. Peter and keep the gate of hell. You. We have done our course, there's money for your pains. I pray you turn the key and keep our counsel. Alas, what does this gentleman conceive? How do you, madam, how do you, my good lady? Face, half asleep. Good madam, what's the matter with my lord? With who? Why, with my lord, madam. Who is thy lord? He that is yours, sweet lady. I have none. Do not talk to me, Amelia. I cannot weep, nor answer have I none but what should go by water. Prithee tonight, lay on my bed my wedding sheets, remember, and call thy husband hither. Here's a change indeed. 'Tis meet I should be used so, very meet. How have I been behaved, that he might stick the smallest opinion on my least misuse? What is your pleasure, madam? How is't with you? I cannot tell. Those that do teach young babes do it with gentle means and easy tasks. He might have chid me so, for in good faith, I am a child to chiding. What's the matter, lady? Alas, Iago, my lord hath so behold her, thrown such despite and heavy terms upon her as true hearts cannot bear. Am I that name, Iago?
What name, fair lady? Such as she says my lord did say I was. He called her whore. A beggar in his drink could not have laid such terms upon his callet. Why did he so? I do not know. I am sure I am none such. Do not weep, do not weep. Alas, the day! Hath she forsook so many noble matches, and her father, and her country, and her friends, to be called whore? Would it not make one weep? It is my wretched fortune. Beshrew him for it. How come this trick upon him? Nay, heaven doth know. I will be hanged. If some eternal villain, some busy and insinuating rogue, some cogging, cozening slave, to get some office, have not devised this slander, I'll be hanged else. Fie, there is no such man. It is impossible. If any such there be, heaven pardon him. Pardon him, and hell gnaw his bones. Why should he call her whore? Who keeps her company? What place? What time? What form? What likelihood? The Moors abused by some most villainous knave, some base notorious knave, some scurvy fellow. O heaven, that such companions thou'dst unfold, and put in every honest hand a whip to lash the rascals naked through the world, even from the east to the west. Speak within door. O fie upon them! Such squire he was that turned your wit with the steamy side without, and made you to suspect me with the Moor. You are a fool. Go to. O good Iago, what shall I do to win my lord again? Good friend, go to him by this light of heaven. I know not how I lost him. Here I kneel. If ever my will did trespass against his love, either in discourse or thought or actual deed, or that mine eyes, mine ears, or any sense delighted them in any other form, or that I do not yet and ever did.
And ever will, though he do shake me off to beggarly divorcement. Love him dearly, comfort forswear me, unkindness may do much, and his unkindness may defeat my life, but never taint my love. I cannot say whore, it does abhor me now I speak the word, to do the act that might the addition earn, not the world's mass of vanity could make me.
I pray you, be content. 'Tis but his humor. The business of the state does him offense, and he does chide with you.
If 'twere no other.
'Tis but so, I warrant. Hark, how these instruments summon to supper. The messengers of Venice stay the meat. Go in, and weep not. All things shall be well. How now, Rodrigo? I do not find that thou dealest justly with me. What, in the contrary? Every day thou daffest me with some device, Iago, and rather, as it seems to me now, keepest from me all conveniently that suppliest me with the least advantage of hope. I will indeed no longer endure it, nor am I yet persuaded to put up in peace what already I have foolishly suffered. Will you hear me, Roderigo? Faith, I have heard too much, for your words and performances are no kin together. You charge me most unjustly. With naught but truth, I have wasted myself out of my means. The jewels you have had from me to deliver to Desdemona would have half corrupted a votarist. You have told me she hath received them, and returned me expectations and comforts of sudden respects and acquaintance. But I find none. Well, go to. Very well. Very well. Go to. I cannot go to, man, nor 'tis not very well. Nay, I think it is scurvy, and begin to find myself fobbed in it. Very well. I'll tell you 'tis not very well. I will make myself known to Desdemona. If she will return me my jewels, I will give over my suit and repent my unlawful solicitation. If not, assure yourself, I will seek satisfaction of you.
You have said now.
Aye, and said nothing but what I protest intendment of doing.
Why now I see there's metal in thee, and even from this instant do build on thee a better opinion than ever before. Give me thy hand, Roderigo. Thou hast taken against me a most just exception, but yet I protest I have dealt most directly in thy affair.
It hath not appeared.
I grant indeed it hath not appeared, and your suspicion is not without wit and judgment. But, Roderigo, if thou hast that in thee indeed which I have greater reason to believe now than ever, I mean purpose, courage, and valor, this night show it. If thou the next night following enjoy not Desdemona, take me from this world with treachery and devise engines for my life.
Well, what is it? Is it with that reason and compass?
Sir, there is special commission come from Venice to depute Cassio in Othello's place.
Is that true? Why then Othello and Desdemona return again to Venice?
Oh no, he goes into Mauritania and taketh away with him fair Desdemona, unless his abode be lingered here by some accident, wherein none can be so determinate as the removing of Cassio.
How do you mean removing him?
Why, by making him incapable of Othello's place. Knocking out his brains.
And that you would have me to do?
Aye, if you dare do yourself a profit and a right. He sups tonight with a harlotry, and thither will I go to him. He knows not yet of his honourable fortune. If you will watch his going thence, which I will fashion to fall out between 12 and 1, you may take him at your pleasure. I will be near to second your attempt, and he shall fall between us. Come, stand not amazed at it, but go along with me. I will show you such a necessity in his death, that you shall think yourself bound to put it on him. It is now high supper time, and the night grows to waste. About it.
I will hear further reason for this.
And you shall be satisfied.
I do beseech you, sir, trouble yourself no further. Oh, pardon me, 'twill do me good to walk. Madam, good night. I humbly thank your ladyship. Your honour is most welcome. Will you walk, sir? Oh, Desdemona. My lord, get you to bed on the instant. I will be returned forthwith. Dismiss your attendant there. Look it be done. How goes it now? He looks gentler than he did. He says he will return incontinent. He hath commanded me to go to bed, and bade me to dismiss you. Dismiss me? It was his bidding. Therefore, good Amelia, give me my nightly wearing, and adieu. We must not now displease him. I would you had never seen him.
So would not I, my love, doth so approve him, that even his stubbornness, his checks, his frowns, prithee unpin me, have grace and favour in them. I have laid those sheets you bade me on the bed. All's one, good faith, how foolish are our minds! If I do die before thee, prithee, shroud me in one of those same sheets. Come, come, you talk. My mother had a maid called Barbara. She was in love, and he she loved proved mad, and did forsake her. She had a song of willow, an old thing 'twas, but it expressed her fortune, and she died singing it. That song tonight will not go from my mind. I have much to do, but to go hang my head all at one side, and sing it like poor Barbara. Prithee, dispatch. Shall I go fetch your nightgown? No, unpin me here. This Lodovico is a proper man. A very handsome man.
He speaks well. I know a lady in Venice would have walked barefoot to Palestine for a touch of his nether lip. The poor soul sat sighing by a sycamore tree, sing all the green willow, her hand on her bosom, her head on her knee, sing willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams ran by her and murmured their moans, sing willow, willow, willow. Her salt tears fell from her and softened the stones lay by these, sing willow, willow, willow. Prithee hide the hill, come and none, sing all the green willow. Must be my garland, let nobody blame him, his scorn I approve.
Nay, that's not next. Hark! Who's that knocks? It's the wind. I called my love false love, but what said he then? Sing willow, willow, willow. If I court more women, you'll couch more men. Oh, so get thee gone. Good night, my eyes do itch. Doth that bode weeping? 'Tis neither here nor there. I have heard it said so. Oh, these men, these men! Dost thou in conscience think, tell me, Emilia, that there be women do abuse their husbands in such gross kind? There be some such, no question. Wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world? Why, would not you? No, by this heavenly light, nor I neither by this heavenly light. I might do it as well in the dark.
Wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world? The world's a huge thing. It is a great price for a small vice. In troth, I think thou wouldst not. In troth, I think I should. And undo it when I had done. Marry, I would not do such a thing for a joint ring, nor for measures of lawn, nor for gowns, petticoats, nor caps, nor for petty exhibition, but for the whole world. Why, who would not make a husband a cuckold to make him a monarch? I should venture purgatory for it. Beshrew me if I would ever do such a wrong for the whole world. Why, the wrong is but a wrong in the world, and having the world for your labour, 'tis a wrong in your own world, and you might quickly make it right. I do not think there is any such woman. Yes, a dozen, and as many to the vantage as would store the world they played for. But I do think it is their husbands' faults if wives do fall.
Say that they slack their duties and pour our treasures into foreign laps. Or else break out in peevish jealousies, throwing restraint upon us. Or say they strike us, or scant our former having in despite. Why, we have galls, and though we have some grace, yet have we some revenge. Let husbands know their wives have sense like them. They see and smell, and have their palates both for sweet and sour, as husbands have. What is it that they do when they change us for others? Is it sport? I think it is. And doth affection breed it? I think it doth. Is it frailty that thus errs? It is so too. And have not we affections, desires for sport and frailty, as men have? Then let them use us well. Else, let them know the ills we do, their ills instruct us so. Oh, good night. Good night. Heaven me such uses send, not to pick bad from bad, but by bad mend.
Here, stand behind this bulk. Straight he will come. Wear thy good rapier bare, and put it home. Quick, quick, fear nothing, I'll be at thy elbow. It makes us, or it mars us. Think on that, and fix most firm thy resolution.
Be near at hand, I may miscarry it.
Here at thy hand, be bold and take thy stand.
I have no great devotion to the deed, and yet he has given me satisfying reasons. 'Tis but a man gone. Forth, my sword, he dies.
I have rubbed this young quart almost to the sense, and he grows angry. Now whether he kill Cassio or Cassio him, or each two kill each other, every way makes my gain. Live Rodrigo, he calls to me restitution large, of gold and jewels that I bobbed from him as gifts to Desdemona. No, it must not be. If Cassio do remain, he hath a daily beauty in his life that makes me ugly, and besides the Moor may unfold me to him. There stand I in much peril. No, he must die. But so, I hear him coming.
I know his gait, 'tis he. Villain, thou diest!
Whoa! That thrust hath been mine enemy indeed, but that my coat is better than thou knowest, I'll make proof of thine. Ha!
Ah! Oh, I am slain!
I am maimed forever! Help, ho! Murder! Murder! The voice of Cassio. Iago keeps his word.
Oh, villain that I am!
It is even so. Oh, help, ho! Light! A surgeon!
'Tis he. Oh, brave Iago, honest and just, thou hast such noble sense of thy friend's wrong. Thou teachest me. Minion, your dear lies dead, and your unblessed fate highs. Strumpet, I come. Forth of my heart those charms, thine eyes are blotted. Thy bed, lust-stained, shall with lust's blood be spotted.
What, ho! No watch? No passage? Murder! Murder! 'Tis some mischance. The cry is very direful.
Oh, help!
Hot!
Oh, wretched villain!
2 or 3 groan. It is a heavy night. These may be counterfeits. Let's think's unsafe to come into the crowd without more help.
Nobody come? Then I shall bleed to death.
Hark! Here comes one in his shirt with light and weapons.
Who's there? Whose noise is this that one's on murder?
We do not know.
Did not you hear a cry?
Here! Here, for heaven's sake, help me!
What's the matter?
This is Othello's ancient, as I take it.
The same indeed. A very valiant fellow. What are you here that cry so grievously?
Iago? Oh, I am spoiled, undone by villains. Give me some help!
Oh, me. Lieutenant, what villains have done this? I think one of them is hereabout and cannot make way. Oh, treacherous villains! What are you there? Come in and give some help. Oh, help me here! That's one of them. Oh, murderous slave! Oh, villain! Oh, damned Iago! Oh, inhuman dog! Where be these bloody thieves? How silent is this town! Ho! Murder! Murder! What may you be? Are you of good or evil? As you shall prove us, praise us. Signor Lodovico. He, sir. I cry you mercy. Here's Cassio hurt by villains. Cassio! How is brother? My leg is cut in two. Mary, heaven forbid. Light, gentlemen, I'll bind it with my shirt.
What is the matter, ho? Who is't that cried? Who is't that cried? Oh, my dear Cassio! My sweet Cassio! Oh, Cassio! 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 Oh, notable strumpet. Cassio, may you suspect who they should be that have thus mangled you? No. I am sorry to find you thus. I have been to seek you. Lend me a garter. So, oh, for a chair to bear him easily hence. Oh, alas, he faints. Oh, Cassio! 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 Gentlemen all, I do suspect this trash to be a party in this injury. Patience a while, good Cassio. Come, come, lend me a light. Know we this face or no? Alas, my friend and my dear countryman. Rodrigo, no? Yes, sure. Oh, heaven! Rodrigo! What? Of Venice? Even he, sir. Did you know him? Know him? I. Signor Gratiano? I cry you gentle pardon.
These bloody accidents must excuse my manners that so neglected you. I am glad to see you. How do you, Cassio? Oh, a chair! A chair! Rodrigo! He. 'Tis he. Oh, that's what's said. The chair. Some good man bear him carefully from hence. I'll go fetch the general surgeon. For you, mistress, save you your labour. For he that lies slain here, Cassio, was my dear friend. What malice was between you? Not in this world. Nor do I know the man. What? Look you pale. Bear him out on the air. Stay, you good gentleman. Look you pale, mistress. Do you perceive the ghastness of her eye? Nay. If you stare, we will hear more anon. Behold her well, I pray you. Look upon her. Do you see, gentlemen? Nay, guiltiness will speak, though tongues were out of use.
Lass, what's the matter? What's the matter, husband? Cassio hath here been set on in the dark by Rodrigo and fellows that are scaped. He's almost slain, and Rodrigo dead.
Alas, good gentleman. Alas, good Cassio. This is the fruit of whoring. Prithee, Emilia, go know of Cassio where he supped tonight. What? Do you shake at that? He supped at my house, but I therefore shake not. Oh, did he so? I charge you, go with me. Fie, fie upon thee, strumpet. I am no strumpet, but of life as honest as you that thus abuse me. As I! Fie upon thee! Kind gentlemen, let's go see poor Cassio dressed. Come, mistress, you must tell another tale. Emilia, run you to the citadel, and tell my lord and lady what hath happened. Will you go on, I pray? This is the night that either makes me or foredoes me quite.
It is the cause, my soul. Let me not name it to you, you chaste stars. It is the cause. Yet I'll not shed her blood, nor scar that whiter skin of hers than snow, and smooth as monumental alabaster. Yet she must die, else she'll betray more men. Put out the light, and then put out the light. Why quench thee, thou flaming minister? I can again thy light restore, should I repent me. But once put out thy light, thou cunningest pattern of excelling nature, I know not where to find that Promethean heat that could thy light relume. When I plucked thy rose, I cannot give it vital life again. It needs must wither. I'll smell thee on the tree. Oh, balmy breath, that almost doth persuade justice to break her sword. One more. One more. Be thus when thou art dead, and I will kill thee and love thee after.
One more, and this the last. So sweet was near so fatal. I must weep, but they are cruel tears. This sorrow's heavenly. It strikes where doth love. She wakes. Who's there, Othello? I, Desdemona. Will you come to bed, my lord? Have you prayed tonight, Desdemona? I, my lord. If you bethink yourself of any crime, unreconciled as yet to heaven and grace, solicit for it straight. Alas, my lord, what do you mean by that? Well, do it and be brief. I will walk by. I would not kill thy unprepared spirit, no. Heaven forfend, I would not kill thy soul. Talk you of killing? I do. Then heaven have mercy on me. Amen, with all my heart. If you say so, I hope you will not kill me.
And yet I fear you, for you are fatal then when your eyes roll so. Why I should fear I know not, since guiltiness I know not. But yet I feel fear.
Think on thy sins.
They are loves I bear to you.
Aye, and for that thou diest.
That death's unnatural that kills for loving. Alas, why gnaw you so your nether lip? Some bloody passion shakes your very frame. They are portents, but yet I hope I hope they do not point on me.
Peace and be still.
I will so. What's the matter?
That handkerchief which I so loved and gave thee, thou gavest to Cassio.
No, by my life and soul, send for the man and ask him.
Sweet soul, take heed of perjury. Thou art on thy deathbed.
I, but not yet to die.
Yes, presently.
Therefore confess thee freely of thy sin. For to deny each article with oath cannot remove nor choke the strong conception that I do groan withal. Thou art to die.
Then, Lord, have mercy on me.
I say, Amen.
And have you mercy too. I never did offend you in my life, never loved Cassio, but with such general warranty of heaven as I might love, I never gave him token.
By heaven, I saw my handkerchief in's hand. O perjured woman, thou dost stone my heart and makest me call what I intend to do a murder, which I thought a sacrifice. I saw the handkerchief.
He found it then? I never gave it him. Send for him hither, let him confess the truth.
He hath confessed.
What, my lord?
He hath used thee.
How? Unlawfully?
Aye.
He will not say so.
No, his mouth is stopped. Honest Lago hath ta'en order for it.
Yes, 'tis Amelia. By and by. She's dead. 'Tis like she comes to speak of Cassio's death. The noise was here. Huh. No more moving. Were't good? I think she stirs again. No. What's best to do? If she come in, she'll sore speak to my wife. My wife, my wife. What wife? I have no wife. Oh, insupportable. Oh, heavy hour. Methinks it now should be a huge eclipse of sun and moon, and that the affrighted globe should yawn at alteration. I had forgot thee. Oh, come in, Amelia. Soft by and by, let me the curtains draw. Where art thou? What's the matter with thee now? What, now? It is the very air of the moon. She come more nearer earth than she was wont, and makes men mad.
Cassio, my lord, hath killed a young Venetian called Roderigo. Roderigo killed? And Cassio killed? No, Cassio's not killed. Not Cassio killed. Then murder's out of tune, and sweet revenge grows. Oh, falsely, falsely murdered! Alas, what cry is that? That? What? Out, and alas! That was my lady's voice. Help! Help, ho, help! Oh, lady, speak again! Sweet Desdemona, oh, mistress, speak! A guiltless death I die. Oh, who hath done this deed? Nobody, I myself. Farewell, Commend me to my kind lord. Oh, farewell. Why, how should she be murdered? Alas, who knows? You heard her say herself. It was not I. She said so. I must needs report the truth.
She's like a liar gone to burning hell. 'Twas I that's killed her. Oh, the more angel she, and you the blacker devil. She turned to folly, and she was a whore. Thou dost believe her, and thou art a devil? She's false as water. Thou art rash as fire. To say that she was false, oh, she was heavenly true. Cassio did top her. Ask thy husband else. Oh, I were damned beneath all depth in hell, but that I did proceed upon just grounds. To this extremity, thy husband knew it all. Thy husband? Thy husband. That she was false to wedlock? I with Cassio. Nay, had she been true, if heaven would make me such another world, of one entire and perfect chrysolite, I'll have not sold her for it. My husband? Aye, 'twas he that told me first. An honest man he is, and hates the slime that sticks on filthy deeds.
My husband? Oh, mistress, villainy hath made mocks with love. My husband say that she was false? If he say so, may his pernicious soul rot half a grain a day. He lies to the heart. She was too fond of her most filthy bargain. Do thy worst. This deed of thine was no more worthy heaven than thou wast worthy her. Thou hast not half the power to do me harm as I have to be hurt. Oh, go! Oh, dolt! As ignorant as dirt! Thou hast done a deed I care not for thy sword. I'll make thee known though I lost 20 lives. Help! Oh, help! The Moor hath killed my mistress! Murder! Murder!
What is the matter? How now, General? Oh, are you come, Iago? You have done well that men must lay their murders on your neck. What is the matter? Disprove this, villain, if thou beest a man. He says thou toldst him that his wife was false. I know thou didst not. Thou art not such a villain. Speak, for my heart is full. I told him what I thought, and told no more than what he found himself was apt and true. But did you ever tell him she was false? I did. You told a lie. An odious, damned lie. Upon my soul, a lie, a wicked lie. She falls with Cassio. Did you say with Cassio? With Cassio, mistress. Go to, charm your tongue. I will not charm my tongue. I am bound to speak. My mistress here lies murdered in her bed.
Oh, heavens,
and your reports have set the murder on.
Nay, stir not, masters. It is true indeed.
'Tis a strange truth. Oh, monstrous act. Villainy, villainy, villainy. I think upon't. I think. I smelt. Oh, villainy. I thought so then. I'll kill myself for grief. Oh, villainy, villainy. What? Are you mad? I charge you. Get you home. Good gentlemen, let me have leave to speak. 'Tis proper I obey him, but not now. Perchance, Iago, I will ne'er go home.
Oh, oh, oh.
Nay, lay thee down and roar, for thou hast killed the sweetest innocent that e'er did lift up eye.
Oh, she was foul. I scarce did know you, uncle. There lies your niece, whose breath indeed these hands have newly stopped. I know this act shows horrible and grim.
Poor Desdemona, I am glad thy father's dead.
Thy match was mortal to him, and pure grief sure his old thread in twain. Did he live now, this sight would make him do a desperate turn. Yea, curse his better angel from his side, and fall to reprobation. 'Tis pitiful, but yet Iago knows that she with Cassio hath the act of shame 1,000 times committed. Cassio confessed it, and she did gratify his amorous works with that recognizance and pledge of love, which I first gave her. I saw it in his hand. It was a handkerchief, an antique token my father gave my mother. Oh, heaven! Oh, heavenly powers! Come, hold your peace. 'Twill out. I peace. No, I will speak as liberal as the north. Let heaven and men and devil, let them all cry shame against me, and yet I will speak. Be wise and get you home. I will not. Fie! Your sword upon a woman?
Oh, thou dull Moor! That handkerchief thou speakest of, I found by fortune, and did give my husband. For often, in solemn earnestness, more than belonged to such a trifle, he begged of me to steal it. Villainous whore! She give it Cassio! No, alas! I found it, and I did gift my husband. Filth, thou liest! By heaven, I do not, gentlemen. Oh, murderous coxcomb! What should such a fool do with so good a woman? Are there no stones in heaven but would serve for the thunder? Precious villain! The woman falls. Sure he hath killed his wife. Lay me by my mistress' side. He's gone, but his wife is killed. 'Tis a notorious villain. Take you this weapon, which I have recovered from the Moor.
Guard the door without. Let him not pass, but kill him rather. I'll after that same villain, for 'tis a damned slave. I am not valiant neither, but every puny whipster gets my sword. But why should honor outlive honesty? Let it go all. What did thy song bode, lady? Hark! Canst thou hear me? I will play the swan, and die in music. Willow, willow, willow. Moor, she was chaste. She loved thee, cruel Moor. So come my soul to bliss as I speak truth. So speaking as I think, I die, I die. I must have another weapon in this chamber. It is sword of Spain, the Icebrook's temper. Ha! Oh, here it is. Uncle, I must come forth. If thou attempt it, it will cost thee dear. Thou hast no weapon, and perforce must suffer.
Look in upon me then, and speak with me. Or naked as I am, I will assault thee. What's the matter? Behold, I have a weapon. A better never did itself sustain upon a soldier's thigh. I have seen the day that with this little arm and this good sword I have made my way through more impediments than 20 times your stop. But oh vain boast, who can control his fate? It is not so now. Be not afraid, since you see me weaponed. Here is my journey's end, here is my butt and very sea mark of my utmost sail. Do you go back dismayed? 'Tis a lost fear. Man but a rush against Othello's breath, and here he retires. Where should Othello go? Now, how dost thou look now? O ill-starred wench.
Pale as thy smock, when we shall meet at Compt, this look of thine will hurl my soul from heaven, and fiends will snatch at it, cold, cold, my girl. Even like thy chastity, O cursed slave, whip me, ye devils, from the possession of this heavenly sight. Blow me about in winds, roast me in sulphur. Wash me and steep down gulfs of liquid fire. Oh, Desdemona, Desdemona dead. Oh, 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 where is this rash and most unfortunate man? Oh, that's he that was Othello. Here I am. Oh, where's that viper? Bring the villain forth. Oh, I look down towards his feet, but that's a fable. If that thou best a devil, I cannot kill thee. Oh, wrench his sword from him.
I bleed, sir, but not killed.
I am not sorry neither. I'ld have thee live, for in my sense 'tis happiness to die. Oh, thou Othello, thou wert once so good, fallen in the practice of a damned slave. What shall be said to thee? Why, anything. An honorable murderer, if you will, for naught I did in hate, but all in honor. This wretch hath part confessed his villainy. Did you and he consent in Cassio's death? I? Dear General, I never gave you cause. I do believe it, and I ask your pardon. Will you, I pray, demand that demi-devil why he hath thus ensnared my soul and body? Demand me nothing. What you know, you know. From this time forth, I never will speak word. What? Not to pray? Torments will ope thy lips. Well, thou dost best. Sir, you shall understand what hath befallen, which, as I think, you know not.
Here is a letter found in the pocket of the slain Rodrigo, and here another. The one of them imports the death of Cassio to be undertook by Rodrigo.
Oh, villain, most heathenish and most gross.
Now here's a discontented paper found in his pocket too, and this, it seems, Rodrigo meant to have sent this damn villain, but that belike Iago came in and satisfied him. Oh, the pernicious caitiff! How came you, Cassio, by the handkerchief that was my wife's? I found it in my chamber. and he himself confessed but even now that there he dropped it for a special purpose, which wrought to his desire. Oh, fool, fool, fool. There is besides in Rodrigo's letter how he upbraids Iago, that he made him brave me upon the watch, whereon it came that I was cast. And even but now he spake, after long seeming dead. Iago heard him. Iago set him on.
You must forsake this room and go with us. Your power and your command is taken off, and Cassio rules in Cyprus. For this slave, if there be any cunning cruelty that can torment him much and hold him long, it shall be his. You shall close prisoner rest till that the nature of your fault be known to the Venetian state. Come, bring him away.
Soft you. A word or two before you go. I have done the state some service and they know it. No more of that. I pray you, in your letters, when you shall these unlucky deeds relate, speak of me as I am. Nothing extenuate nor set down aught in malice. Then you must speak of one that loved not wisely but too well, of one not easily jealous but being wrought, perplexed in the extreme, one whose hand like the base Indian threw away a pearl richer than all his tribe, of one whose subdued eyes, albeit unused to the melting moon, dropped tears as fast as the Arabian chased them into smoke.
Set you down this, and say besides that in Aleppo once, where a malignant and turbaned Turk beat a Venetian and traduced the state, I took by the throat the circumcised dog and smote him thus. Oh, bloody period. All that spoke is marred. I kissed thee. Ere I killed thee. No way but this. Killing myself to die upon a kiss. This did I hear, but thought he had no weapon, for he was of great heart. Oh, Spartan dog, more fell than hunger, anguish, or the sea. Look on the tragic loading of this bed. This is thy work, the object poisoned sight. Let it be hid. Graciano, keep the house, and seize upon the fortunes of the Moor, for they succeed on you. For you, Lord Governor, remains the censure of this hellish villain, the time, the place, the torture. Oh, endure it. Myself will straight aboard, and to this state, this heavy act with heavy heart relate.
One more, and this the last. So sweet was near, so fatal. I must weep, but they are cruel tears. The sorrow's heavenly. It strikes where it doth love. She wakes. Who's there? Othello, I, Desdemona. Will you come to bed, my lord? Have you prayed tonight, Desdemona? I, my lord. If you bethink yourself of any crime, reconcile us yet to heaven and grace.
solicit for it straight. Alas, my lord, what do you mean by that? We'll do it and be brief, I will walk by. I would not kill that unprepared spirit, no. Heaven forbid, I would not kill that soul. Talk you of killing, I do. Then heaven have mercy on me.